Tomorrow. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's the Big K Big Three.
Brought to you by New Flow Men's Health. The biggest three stories of the day on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
What's up? What's up? Hey, I'm going to open the show with how many hours did you sleep? 4 on my part. I'm not whining. It was an amazing game. Tomlin proved me wrong. Good for him. That's why he gets paid the big bucks. It was a hell of a game to watch. It was quite an atmosphere. And I had to take a sleeping aid. What is it? Sominex, something like that. Unisom. You're supposed to take one. I'm not exaggerating this. I get so hyped, it's like I'm on methamphetamine. I had to take 3, maybe 4. Not healthy. Not smart. But you're lying there in bed at midnight and you've got to go to sleep. What about you, brother? Patrick's sitting here with me.
No sleep aids here, but I was asleep about 10 minutes after that game.
Wow. Because you've had trouble sleeping
but I did stay
recently.
Up. Oh, yeah. I mean, I usually sleep between 4 and 7 hours.
All right. It was a hell of a game. It was worth it. I want to play something. Aaron pulled for me that David Balderrado just cut regarding the Senate investigation of this Trump assassination attempt. Please play that, Aaron. Thank you.
The panel says it came to that conclusion based on a number of interviews and studying thousands of pages of documents. It says there was poor communication with no clear chain of command between federal, state, and local authorities at the Trump rally. That made it possible for gunman Thomas Crooks to open fire, injuring the former president, killing Corey Comparator, and injuring 2 others. The AGR complex should have also been within the Secret Service security parameters, and the local snipers placed inside it had a narrow field of vision and couldn't monitor it properly. The committee's final report is due in mid-December.
David Colorado. Here's the thing about these reports. We get it. Okay, we get it. This is why government sucks sometimes. The redundancy of it. Everybody wants a platform. Everybody wants to yell and scream. We're the ones telling you this. But at the end of the day, we've already been told at least a dozen times. The Secret Service jacked this up. A dozen times. Stop it. Stop it. Enough. We get it. They jacked it up. Fix it. Get the funding. Prove us wrong. I'll tell you what they did last night. The Secret Service kicked ass. I'll tell you right now, we're going to talk more about that with my boy Ron Layton, who's probably the smartest man I've ever known, later in the day. But if you watched, and I had friends at the game very close to Trump's suite, and they had those massive glass barriers in there. They had, man, there are pictures of TAC team guys and SWAT team guys. And here's the other thing. The Trump appearance did not cause major traffic problems. You know why? He came late into the first quarter and did not stay until the end of the game. And let me say this, too, about the Trumpers out there who believe that the network ignored Trump being there. That's a bald-faced lie. Stop with the lies. I watched the whole damn game. They pointed out he was there. They showed him. They moved on. Did he get as much attention as Taylor Swift would? No. But she's cuter. And I'm going to make a statement that is 100% spot on. I was wrong about Trump. And I'm going to play these clips. Does Aaron have these clips? I'm going to play these Trump clips. I'm going to tell you why I'm wrong about Trump. Because I find him to be offensive. I find him to be overbearing. I find him to be way out there in left field. I find him to be obnoxious. I find him to be ill-prepared. I find him to be lacking in character. But you don't. I'm serious about this. The things that he says, the things that he does, you don't care. Aaron, are they labeled? Do you have the piece where he made the comments about Arnold Palmer's private parts in Latrobe?
Oh, man. This man was strong and tough. And I refuse to say it, but when he took showers with the other pros, they came out of there, they said, oh, my God. That's unbelievable. I had to say it. We have women that are highly sophisticated here, but they used to look at Arnold as a bad, but he was really...
So he's raving about Arnold Palmer's penis, okay? This is what he finds important in the context of what's happening in the world today. This is the man who, in all likelihood, considering what's happening now, will be the next president. And the folks who love him loved it. And they loved it. Not only were they not offended, they were enthralled by it. They were titillated by it. They were amused by it. I'm wrong. You're right. Trump is winning. It's a fact. Whether I like that or not is irrelevant. Whether we can manage it as a country is irrelevant. It is what it is, and you are what you are. Willing to accept this as greatness. Willing to write off anything and everything he says as charming. Just having fun. You don't get it. And let me read this from Arnold Palmer's daughter, Peggy. There are other things about my dad that would have been better to focus on. From his daughter, Peggy, again. I thought it was an unfortunate way to remember my dad. And finally, Peggy, Arnold's daughter, he was appalled by Trump's lack of civility and what he began to see as Trump's lack of character. I agree with Arnie. But I'm wrong, and Arnie was wrong, and you're right, and you win. You love this madness. You love the lunacy. You love the fringe comments. You love the sexual comments. You love the threats. Play the cut, please, Aaron, where he makes those disgusting comments about Kamala Harris, what he says about her, please.
So you have to tell Kamala Harris that you've had enough, that you just can't take it anymore. We can't stand you. You're a vice president. The worst. You're the worst vice president. Kamala, you're fired. Get the hell out of here. You're fired.
I'm wrong. You're right. You win. You like that. You want that. I'm serious about this. I'll tell you what, it hit me when one of my boys sent me this. An intelligent, sophisticated man said, Trump knows there's a certain locker room, third grade, little boy humor that men are attracted to, and that's his play. He's a real-life reality show, and we've become an entertainment culture, and there might not be a better entertainer in this era. We are voting for an entertainer as president. Prove me wrong. You like the crudity. You like his sexual comments. You like his demeaning nature. You like his tone towards women. You like this guttural conversation. Prove me wrong. 866-391-1020. You love Trump. I'm wrong. You're right. You win. We all lose. 866-391-1020. Why do you love it, though? Why? 866-391-1020. It's insanity is what it is. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, good morning.
Good morning, Marty. It is a rough morning, a late morning issue here on the Parkway West. So as you're coming inbound before the top of Green Tree Hill, there is an accident. Traffic is only getting by in the right lane. There's stuff on the shoulder. We have crews working on the shoulder. There are also vehicles and equipment in the left lane as well. This traffic is backing you to the I-79 interchange and starting to back onto the ramp from northbound 79 to the Parkway West. Please leave extra time as you're traveling there. You'll also find that you're going to have some slowdowns on the outbound Parkway West if you're headed to the airport this morning because of this accident. Everybody's slowing down to take a look at what's going on there. It'll cost you some extra time because delays are quickly creeping back toward the Fort Pitt tunnels. Do watch for that. Elsewhere around the remnants of the rush hour, Parkway East tame by comparison, just a small slowdown before the Squirrel Hill tunnels. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
This traffic report brought to you by Ulta Beauty.
Chances are you're not hearing this ad while topping 100 in your Aston Martin or taking a spin around town in your Rolls Royce. But if you are, then Donald Trump's tax plan is for you. Just ask him.
You're rich as hell. We're going to give you a tax cut?
But if you're hearing this on your way to work or school pickup, if you're heading to the grocery store or wondering how long you can stretch that tank of gas, then your plan is Kamala Harris's plan. She'll make the wealthy and big corporations pay their fair share so she can give the middle class a tax cut, as well as $25,000 for first-time home buyers, $6,000 for first-time parents, and a $50,000 tax deduction for starting a new business. Because that guy in the cyber truck that just zoomed by doesn't need another break. But Kamala Harris knows you sure could use one. Paid for by FFPAC, ffpac.org, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. FFPAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
This portion of the show is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Visit them at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. Come celebrate Levin's huge anniversary sale. Up to 50% off clearance and special buys, triple sales tax discount, and 5 years special financing, no money down. It took 104 years to get here and won't last long. Now, at Levin Furniture and Mattress. Look, Robert Levin is one of my friends. He loves taking care of people, and this sale shows that. Check it out, Levin's huge anniversary sale.
We've brought the Emerald City to Ulta Beauty with wicked collaborations from R.E.M. Beauty by Ariana Grande. It brushes for Ulta and OPI. Hurry in, these fantabulous products won't last long. See Wicked November 22nd, only in theaters. Ulta Beauty, the possibilities are beautiful.
I have a friend that owns several businesses. This is a true story. His name's Michael. Sends me a text last week from Oakmont Bakery. Now, again, he owns 7 businesses. He said, never seen anything like it. The service, the product, the quality, the kindness. One of our friends left here, Samantha, my producer. They made her a beautiful cake Friday. Gorgeous cake. Oakmont Bakery is special, unique, run by an amazing family. Oakmont Bakery. Delicious. Hey, folks, it's Marty. The Inflation Reduction Act shaking things up. Wow. With changes to Medicare Part D, your prescription coverage might be changing. MediConnect can help you navigate these changes and find the right plan for you before December 7th. Folks, you get it free from MediConnect. Call MediConnect today, 888-818-6334. MediConnect, 888-818-6334. MediConnectInsurance.com.
CBS Eye on Veterans from ConnectingVets.com. Scientist Henry O'Connell and a colleague who pioneered speech-to-text technology joined forces to create the Canary Speech app. It can detect depression and anxiety from small samples of the user's voice, and it's their hope it can be used to help veterans.
So beneath the words are how speech is created. Canary analyzes everything but the words. We actually look at 2,548 different elements and 15 million every minute. And we correlate that with a range of different diseases, things like anxiety and depression. And PTSD is a model we're building right now.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Come join our growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Hear about it, then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
man. This man was strong and tough. And I refuse to say it, but when he took showers with the other pros, they came out of there, they said, oh my God. That's unbelievable. I had to say it. I had to say it. We have women that are highly sophisticated here, but they used to look at Arnold as a bad, but he was really...
Talk about Arnold's penis, that it was large. And this is the guy who you love. I was wrong. Honestly, you're right. It kind of hit me when I posted this over the weekend and people came at me like I was Satan. He's having fun. It's a sense of humor. People love him. Screw you, Marty. You're a bum. I'm wrong. You're right. This your thing. He's your guy. He's your rock star. And if I'm betting today, and I'm not, he wins. Character doesn't matter. Arnold Palmer said this to his daughter. He was appalled by Trump's lack of civility and what he began to see as Trump's lack of character. That's Peggy Palmer, Arnold's daughter. When she heard this crude comment from the weekend, there are other things about my dad that would have been better to focus on. I thought it was an unfortunate way to remember my dad. Trump doesn't care, man. He doesn't care. He's napalm. And the crude comment he made about Kamala Harris, that she was an SHI blank. And you laugh and applaud. It's like a Lenny Bruce skit. Billy Sawyer says it works. It does. It does. The McDonald's thing. The irony of the McDonald's thing. Do you remember that all of you Trump worshipers, you went nuts when Kamala Harris staged her events and brought buses in with people to clap for her in airport hangars. Remember this? That entire event at that McDonald's was staged. It was closed. You know what you folks said? This is what they do. Arnold's fine. Donald was having fun. Screw you, Marty. You win. You win. And one of my boys, the world's greatest accountant, says this. The fact that Trump could even be close to winning is a testimony to how bad the Democrats did in selecting an alternative candidate to Biden. Love the man. Not Biden. Super accountant. Go ahead, Bob. Thanks for your patience, brother.
Thank you, Marty. First of all, I want to tell you, I totally agree with you. I mean, the man is rude, crude, and he's nasty. But I'm going to tell you why I'm going to vote for him.
Sure, please.
It's not that I love Donald Trump. I don't. I can't stand her. What I don't want, and they're friends of mine.
By the way, I hear this a lot. Go ahead, buddy.
Well, I'm a 72-year-old guy who doesn't want to, that just doesn't want the country to go to woke socialism.
I get it.
You know,
no, I get it. I get it.
Interestingly enough, she's going to build 3 million houses, which she's not.
No.
She's going to do this, that, and the other thing, which she's not.
Right.
She never told anybody how she's going to pay for it. She's going to go after the rich. Well, there aren't enough.
All right, I got you. I got the speech. You made a great point, and I did cut you off because there's 8,000 people that want to comment. But the gist of what he's saying is true. Let Donald say whatever the hell he wants. If he wants to fart in the microphone, if he wants to pull down his pants, you think it's not beyond him? Come on. He's done that. You like that. He's your guy. It's fun. Scares the hell out of me. Just does. I don't trust him. I don't trust his character. I don't trust his judgment. But what Bob said is spot the hell on. They don't want more of what we have now, which is less. It's actually very smart. Joe, go ahead, man. Thanks for your patience.
What's up, Marty? Good morning.
Brother,
hey,
man. It's an honor.
I told you they like him. He's a
No, they love.
Hey, by the way, as a fellow Jagoff, I mean, they're not talking about his penis. he got the greatest pedicures and would sit back with an Orny Palmer. Man, they're talking about his feet, man.
His feet?
You guys gotta lighten up, man.
Oh,
lighten
I love
up.
you.
Gag-offs can take it and dish it out. That's the difference.
By the way, I love
right.
you, man. You're fantastic, Joe.
All right, I'm going to do a stage show. You can sponsor me later, man.
He's really funny, actually. He was really, and he's right. He's right. I lose. You win. Scares me. My brother Eddie, what's up, man?
Oh man, you're hitting the sore spot for everybody. But I want you to know that man is crude. He's obnoxious. My dad was a Republican, and he'd be rolling in his grave right now. That's who we chose to represent the United States. But unfortunately, my parents. I'm second generation, and my parents came in on. My grandparents came in on Ellis Island legally.
Nice. Same.
Here's the difference. My grandfather, Italian Abruzzese,
Same.
speak English, but he learned how to speak English, and he made a success out of himself. And what gets me with Kamala Harris, she was appointed by Nancy Pelosi. She wasn't picked by Joe Biden.
I got you, man. You're giving me the speech. I love you. You're all telling me why you're sticking with Trump. He's lewd, rude, and crude. Character issues, judgment issues. Joanne, go ahead.
You know what? I know why they love him. You're right about these crude men, but there's a lot of women out there that don't want this nonsense. And also, these people want this for their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren. This is what I hear. I'm doing this for my children or grand. Nope, you're doing it for yourself. And the only thing I can say is there's a lot of women that don't want this. I don't think he wins. I don't think he wins.
I don't know, my friend. I love Joanne, by the way. I think right now, if I'm betting and I was ordered to bet, I'd pick Trump. I feel it.
Home sweet home. That's where a lot of us feel most comfortable these days. But what about going back to the doctor? Better yet, you can see your primary care doctor virtually without leaving the comfort of your home sweet home. Healthy is happening right now with video visits from AHN. Because providing care just the way you like it is living proof. Visit ahn.org/video visits.
So I have taken family and friends personally to the offices of John Perry at Rosen and Perry. Why? Well, with medical malpractice cases, they have doctors on staff to answer your questions. They have some of the biggest, this is a fact, settlements in the history of this region. Fact. They care, man. They care big time. John Perry at Rosen and Perry, one of the best attorneys in America. 412-281-4200. 412-281-4200. Rosen and Perry.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
57 and sunny at 10:30. I'm Paul Rasmussen. 23-year-old woman died last night after a motorcycle accident in Washington County. A release from the coroner's office says Alyssa Hutchison's cycle was hit by another vehicle on Route 30 in Donegal Township about 7:45 p.m. Hutchison died shortly after being taken to UPMC Washington Hospital. Motorists are dealing with another closure of the Glenwood Bridge this week. News Radio KDKA's Greg McAtee has details.
Through Friday at 6 p.m., the northbound lanes of the Glenwood Bridge are closed for the replacement of an expansion dam. The same project closed the southbound lanes last week. A detour is posted and once again calls for the temporary closing of 6 stops of the Pittsburgh Regional Transit's 56 Lincoln Place route. More info at the PRT's customer service line at 412-442-2000. Greg McAtee, News Radio KDKA.
Both the city and Allegheny County controllers are kicking off separate audits of operations at the county's 911 center. Corey O'Connor's audit will focus on working conditions and tech resources, while Rachel Heisler's will focus on response times. They'll then compare what they find to nationally recognized best practices. A breakfast staple is on a new recall list. CBS's Matt Piper has more.
You might want to let go this Eggo. They're not that brand, but more than 500 varieties of frozen waffles manufactured by Treehouse Foods have been recalled. It's because they could be contaminated with listeria. They're sold under major store brands like Walmart's Great Value and Target's Good and Gather. They're also sold at Aldi, Dollar General, Publix, and other big chains.
A code orange air quality alert is in effect today. Air pollution concentrations within the region may become unhealthy for sensitive groups. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 176 points at 43,100. The Nasdaq is up 5 points. The S&P is down 10. KDKA Radio News Time, 10:31. Our next update at 11. I'm Paul Rasmussen on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Sunday mornings at 6 a.m. on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA, it's Tech Vibe Radio. Join hosts Audrey Russo and Jonathan Kirsting from the Pittsburgh Technology Council's Huntington Bank Studios as they bring you a front row seat to Pittsburgh's tech sector.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. As a business owner in today's economy, it's your job to anticipate constant market changes. But what do you do in the event of a divorce? Your assets and finances are scrutinized. Years of hard work building a business are on the line. This is not business as usual. You need an experienced partner you can count on for help. We're Cordell & Cordell.
Offices in downtown Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Schedule an appointment with one of our Pittsburgh or Cranberry area attorneys. Rick Julius, licensed in Pennsylvania only. CordellCordell.com.
Tell you what, I'm serious about this. Some of the best Italian food I've ever had in my life. And I mean, I'm an old guy. This restaurant in Oakmont, Michael A's. Whoo! Slamming. Folks, slamming. 9.9 on a scale of 10. Seriously, Michael A's, Oakmont. Homemade, handcrafted Italian. I'm telling you, it'll be the best you've ever eaten. Michael A's, Oakmont.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. So many of you have told me about your plans for the future. Starting a business, buying a home, retiring near your grandchildren. But prices are too high. So let me tell you what I will do about it as president. I will take on price gouging. I will lower the cost of health care insurance. We cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors. I'm running to do that for everyone. And I will provide new down payment assistance to first-time home buyers and tax benefits to people who want to start their own business. Donald Trump, well, he wants to give more tax breaks to the wealthy, whereas I will cut taxes for the middle class instead. Because I know working people want to do more than just get by. You want to get ahead. And that's the future you deserve. And that is what I will focus on every day as your president. Paid for by Harris for President.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right, a bunch of accidents, Marty, and the biggest one is on the Parkway West inbound. It's between Carnegie and the top of Green Tree Hill. Crews are finally allowing 2 lanes of travel to get past the accident scene, but backups greet you in the I-79 interchange on the inbound ride. Outbound, you have slow traffic up over the top of the hill and down past the accident scene. We have an accident in Bellevue on Route 65, Ohio River Boulevard at Grant, and also on Babcock Boulevard at Roderick Drive, an accident in Ross Township. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Very warm this afternoon. Sunny skies and a high of 78. Clear, low 48 tonight. Then very warm with sun and some clouds. High 82 tomorrow. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've grown by offering our clients more offices, more lawyers, and recovering more than $20 billion. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
My wife was gone all weekend. She went to William & Mary, where she graduated from college, for a reunion, so I was in charge. That's how men and women are different. She came home yesterday and noticed that Vince smelled. My son. I was around him all day, man. I hung out with him all weekend. We went to dinner. We hung out. We were all over the place. Heck, I took him to a party. We went to a homecoming dance. I didn't notice the smell. But as soon as my wife got home, she said, "Son, you smell." The vast difference between women and men is actually fascinating. And as you get older and you watch your son do the same things you did, it's actually fascinating. All right. Hell of a busy weekend for cops. Hell of a busy weekend for Mr. Scanner himself, the legend, the mythical, Mike Fisher. What's up, brother?
Good morning, Marty.
Extremely busy weekend.
There's a lot of events.
A lot of criminal events.
Some.
A lot of people very active. I mean, you guys were, it was blowing up this weekend, right?
Absolutely. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of high-profile events, a lot of football points that happened. I like it.
Yeah. All right. So let's start off with the clips that Mike pulled, who's the guru of all. By the way, why aren't we on the video yet with you? What do we have to do? Do we have to come over there and kick your ass?
Probably. Well, if you want to make the scanner, you can try it.
Wow.
You can actually make the scanner. We can live stream.
Is it something personal? Do you have like a big gourd on your head? Do you have a tumor or a cyst? What do we got going here?
Well, I'm sitting in the car right now on the side of the road talking to you. I don't think anyone can see my roof.
We want to see you, man. All right, let's play this stuff. The first three clips, please.
Base to 3129, 3130 Able. 29. 30, Start to Firehouse 33, 3284 Central Avenue. 33 trucks reporting a black male, a black hoodie, black jeans in the bushes, and he possibly has a machine gun on him. 29 around.
That's unbelievable.
38 for me. 134 Able. Can you start to Firehouse 33? Yep, already en route. Copy. They're currently in lockdown.
It's unbelievable. That put a lot of people in panic, did it not, Mike?
If you're listening to the scanner, you definitely were interested in seeing what was happening next. It was an interesting saga indeed.
It really was. Go ahead, Aaron, play the next one, please.
3030 South Water Street Apartment, 3030 South Water Street, for an intoxicated person. No complaint, intoxicated male walking along the trail, yelling at people passing by. Was heading towards Stellar Training Facility on the trail. This is a white male, 45 years of age, no shirt, blue jeans. 3030 South Water Street Apartment, 3030 South Water Street, for an intoxicated person. No complaint, intoxicated male walking along the trail, yelling at people passing by. Was heading towards Stellar Training Facility on the trail. This is a white male, 45 years of age, no shirt, blue jeans. 3030 South Water Street Apartment, 3030 South Water.
All right, so what we end up with there is a drunk guy, but the guy with the so-called machine gun in the bushes, how did that play out, Mike?
Well, it seemed the police were talking to the firefighters. They got there and they started asking them questions, and they started identifying people. The guy didn't go too far. I mean, there was bushes around engine 33, and so they discovered, hey, there's a guy that fits the description. He has something in his pants. It was a BB gun.
A BB gun?
A BB gun.
Did they arrest him?
They were like, what are you doing, dude? I don't think they arrested him. They just told him, don't do that crap in public or something like that, and just off they went. They don't have time for that.
My man, Pittsburgh scanner guru and the legend, Mike Fisher. Play the clip, please, Aaron, with the Secret Service. This is actually a lot happening surrounding this.
I'm based to 180. Very wait. All right, sir. On North Shore Drive, behind Heinz Field, on the corner there by the Children's Museum. I have no concern about these Secret Services vehicles that are parked on the trail, causing people to veer off on their bikes.
Mike, the Secret Service was in full heavy-duty mode, were they not, sir?
Absolutely. They were hearing little bits and pieces. While they were on the encrypted channel, you can kind of get some leaks of what's happening as people respond and switch channels.
And people were complaining because they were on the trail and they had to veer off from the trail?
Yeah, they're blocking the bike lane. I mean, welcome to Pittsburgh Secret Service.
Yeah, I know. They're protecting the president. They already screwed up once. They're not going to screw up again. And they're certainly not going to worry about people on the trail, are they, brother?
No, it's in the zone of protectorate zone, so it's in the inner core, so all that's locked down. I mean, it's a minor inconvenience, but it's open again.
It is. And without incident, right?
No, everything went fine.
Look, at the end of the day, they're doing their job, and people have to understand they're doing their job. And the fact of the matter is that this sort of thing happened. Something that jumped out at me that actually was very unsettling was this kid that got knocked out on the football game. That's unsettling.
Oh.
Tell us what happened there.
That was bad.
Yeah.
So what happened earlier, as I posted on the Pittsburgh Scanner Twitter page, is that there's a detail officer there got on the air and said that, hey, are there any medics at this game? Because this kid just got knocked out on his back in the middle of the field. Guy that was looking around didn't see anybody. Eventually, the dispatcher said they checked the medic board and said, there are no medics assigned, so we'll get them started. It took them 20 minutes, Marty, to get there. Kids go out in La La Land, in the middle of the field, in the middle of whatever game that was. I still haven't figured out what game it was he was playing. But it took them 20 minutes to respond.
Hold on. This is actually very troubling, and I'm so glad you posted this because if I'm not mistaken, brother, they have to, by law, have somebody at every game. And so someone screwed up. And how long did it take to get an ambulance to the game?
It took about 20 minutes, but potentially, if it was a high school game, they're required to be there.
Yes.
But if it was like a JV or another, like a non-affiliated, then you're not holden to that.
Oh. And
yeah, I read the commenters were talking about this, and they say, well, if it's a city high school game, they have to be there. But if it's JV or under JV, no.
And Mike, was that a Saturday game?
Was it Saturday, brother? Was that Saturday?
Yeah, that was a Saturday game.
Okay, my son plays JV ball, and they have trainers. I think the home team, usually their trainer attends to both sides, and there are no paramedics present.
Wow. Was he playing at the couples?
What the hell's the difference, man? What the hell's the difference with their JV or varsity, man? Getting knocked out is getting knocked out, right?
Yes. It's horrible what happens with the concussions, and treatment needs to be immediate.
By the way, I got to say this about you personally. One of my boys, who's the world's greatest tow truck driver, says, I enjoy Scanner Mike. I listen to 4 scanners in the tow truck. I can relate to everything he's saying. I just have 25 years of listening on him. He's been listening to the scanners for 25 years, sir.
Wow, that's incredible. I've been doing it for about 10. So.
See? You start to twitch.
I'm doing it for 15. I don't even know what year it is. 15 years I've been doing this, Marty.
You do a hell of a job, brother. It's really, really fascinating stuff. Thanks, my man.
Absolutely.
We're working on that camera, right?
Yeah, I'm making one in the office.
You are my man. Thanks, brother.
Enjoy your day.
All right. Look, 2 things that jumped out at me. Number 1, the Secret Service was really prepared for this. Fantastic work. Number 2, There's no way in hell, if there's a sporting event where a kid could get knocked out, that the school should not be obligated by law to have a paramedic or someone there that can treat a kid who's lying unconscious without help for 20 minutes. That's ridiculous. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right. Thanks, Marty. We have eyes on a couple of issues with the Parkway West, most notably because of an earlier accident that's on the inbound ride. Looking out live with the PennDOT cameras, traffic is moving in both directions on the Parkway West. But because of this accident and all the slowdowns, you do have heavy traffic in both directions. On the inbound ride, you're going to find that it's slow through the I-79 interchange. Things ease up just a bit, but then it's heavy again past the accident scene and then all the way down to and through those Fort Pitt tunnels. The outbound trek on the Parkway West is very slow up over the top of the hill, beginning right around the Parkway Center off-ramp and the Banksville on-ramp. So leave extra time as you're traveling there. We do have an accident, this in Bellevue, Route 65, Ohio River Boulevard at the intersection with Grant. You'll also need to leave some extra time around that. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Summers in Pittsburgh are great, but you don't want to spend it painting, so do what Don did. He called Rhino Shield.
Well, the home was built in 1948. Paint on the aluminum siding was peeling, and I couldn't find anyone who would repaint it until I called Rhino Shield.
Rhino Shield's better than paint. And the crew?
Painted all my aluminum siding, and I've got a front porch that runs the whole length of the house and all the pillars. And once they were gone, I couldn't even tell that they were there.
Right now, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 10% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield is partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer no payments until 2026 for qualified buyers.
Well, I've told a lot of people, do the Rhino Shield. It's really a great product, and that would be the way to go.
And here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding. Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company.
So, the best tree service, the best, most highly trained, the best pricing, the safest, the most reliable, the most professional, and they do free tree service for veterans, World War II veterans. They're the most amazing people I ever met. My man Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service. I'm telling you, branches, trees, you name it, the biggest jobs and the smallest jobs. 412-415-7331. 412-415-7331. Call them.
Have you ever thought about joining a credit union? There are plenty of great benefits and perks. Hi, it's Dan Zangrilli. Some think that you have to be part of a club or know someone to get in. Not the case. At Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union, you simply need to live, work, or worship in Allegheny, Butler, or Beaver counties, and you're eligible to join for just $5. Unlock the great rewards of a credit union. Shape your future with Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by the NCUA. Visit AllegiantFCU.org to get started today.
Here's your Jill on Money question of the day.
Jen from Pennsylvania asks, my husband and I are 48 years old with 2 teenagers. We feel like we've done a good job saving in our retirement accounts and we make a decent income. But we feel like we have very little liquid cash for big purchases or cash outside of retirement. How much should we decrease contributions towards retirement in order to increase saving more cash or making some 529 contributions? Well, Jen, if you guys are really tight, I would relieve some of the pressure. I'm not saying you should stop altogether. Just reduce and give yourself some breathing room.
Have a question? Go to JillOnMoney.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Come join our growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
What's up? I'm going to talk politics next hour. It's the only thing anyone's talking about. I may be wrong, but I may be right about this. We do these phone polls every week. Trump versus Harris. And every week, and I consider this audience pretty divided, conservatives and liberals. And every week, Trump gains more momentum. Whether you want to hear this or not is irrelevant. It's just the truth. I've kind of accepted the fact that him being lewd, crude, rude, and unprepared and having very little character is something that you find attractive. And I find it fascinating. There was some discussion, even from Shapiro now again, Shapiro being the governor, who is a Democrat, would suggest that by Elon Musk doing two things, offering folks $100 to vote, which he says isn't exactly what he was doing, and offering $1 million to somebody who entered this big pool of his, that might be illegal. And that's something Josh Shapiro asked to be investigated. So the plot thickens. What I find amazing is how much time they're spending here. They're here every day, all damn day. And whether you like to hear from Trump or not is irrelevant. He gets around and spends time at it. I'm going to play this, one of these clips, Aaron, from him at McDonald's. So his whole thing was he was going to work at a McDonald's, which I find trite, cliche, silly, obnoxious, and staged. You folks loved it. You said it showed his work ethic?
Mr. President, you actually have worked at McDonald's now versus... Now I have worked at McDonald's. I've now worked for 15 minutes more than Kamala. Are you going to put this on your resume? I never worked here.
I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job. I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again.
There you go. So they took over at McDonald's, and everybody was cheering, and Trump went in there and did his thing, and people love it. They just love it. And here's the deal. What annoys me about that particular display of Trumpness was the rhetoric when Kamala Harris came here a few times and staged events. What do I mean? She would go to an airport hangar. They would bring buses in of people, and they would all cheer. They were all her supporters. She went to a convenience store. It was staged. Brought people in. In essence, staged the event, created applause, created a moment, and far-right folks went berserk. That entire event yesterday was staged. The actual McDonald's, I don't really give a damn. The actual McDonald's was closed. The actual customers were fake. The whole thing was fake. But again, somehow you folks are enamored with this. You find him charming. You find him to be engaging. A lot of men that I talk to find him to be one of us, as they put it. He's one of the guys. Never worked a job like that in his life. Ever. But at the end of the day, he's your guy, and you love him. And if I'm a betting man and I'm betting today, I say Trump wins this election. He has a certain amount of momentum. And honestly, it's not necessarily the only reason you're voting for him, but you like that he's obnoxious. You like that he's offensive. You like that he's hateful, self-centered, selfish, narcissistic, egomaniacal, ill-prepared. You like that. I just don't. However, in my world, the day after the election, Monday goes to Tuesday. And I mean that. The thing about politics is it's changing, constantly changing. One thing I will not miss are the commercials. One commercial, local commercial in last night's game, won $90,000. Won $90,000. This will be the most money ever spent on anything in the history of Pittsburgh. I'm not exaggerating. In terms of media, the all-time record prior to this was $100 million. the last time Trump ran. $100 million in Pittsburgh. This cycle in media spending will surpass $350 million. They have never seen anything like it in the history of politics in Pennsylvania. $1.5 billion spent statewide. It is nauseatingly sickening amount of money.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
I went to high school with Bob Tootie from Tootie Mechanical. So I've known him, 40 plus years? His business is insane. Tootie Mechanical. The service is unbelievable. The professionalism is unbelievable. And the help, man, they've put 400 free furnaces in homes. Tootie Mechanical is the best for HVAC I've ever seen in my career. They're amazing people, amazing service. Tootie, 412-771-4100. Call them.
In today's world, energy security means more than just keeping the lights on. It's about making America stronger by reducing our dependence on foreign oil. Ethanol helps fuel our nation's energy security. Made right here in America, ethanol keeps gas prices lower. It's renewable, reliable, and helps create American jobs. On Election Day, join us in choosing candidates who support ethanol and the renewable fuel standard. Paid for by the Renewable Fuels Association.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-511-3535. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-511-3535. 800-511-3535 or biglou.com.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Want more? Sure you do. More friends, a little more time, a few more laughs. More is a good thing, unless you're talking about risk of serious illness from a respiratory virus. But as we get older, we're more at risk for severe flu, COVID-19, and RSV. Worst birthday presents ever, right? But vaccines lower your risk, so you can keep doing more of all life's good stuff. Get started at vaccines.gov. Risk less, do more. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
65 under fair skies at 11 o'clock. I'm Paul Rasmussen. The bipartisan panel headed by Congressman Mike Kelly is out with an interim report on the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. News Radio KDKA's David Ballaratto has the latest.
Fragmented lines of communication and unclear chains of command. These are among the findings that the Congressional Task Force cited in its investigation into the July 13th shooting. The bipartisan panel says there were several pivotal points when law enforcement officials, whether federal, state, or local, could have engaged gunman Thomas Crooks, especially as his behavior that day became increasingly suspicious. Yet the poor lines of communication allowed him to evade law enforcement. The panel also questions why the Secret Service didn't do a better job of securing the American Glass Research Building from which Crooks fired his shots. David Ballaratto, News Radio, KDKA.
Well, the Trump campaign is launching a bus tour across Pennsylvania today. Stops on the itinerary include State College on Tuesday, Punxsutawney and Newcastle on Wednesday. On Thursday, Canonsburg and Monroeville. Vice President Harris will be in Chester County today to kick off a 3-state tour. Today, by the way, is the last day to register to vote in Pennsylvania. Tomorrow marks 2 weeks before voters go to the polls. Political analyst Lenny McAllister says that Democrats are starting to get panicky.
So she gets to her incumbency without the power of incumbency, and she's an historic candidate for being a black woman. And that is plenty to make Democrats panicky and saying, okay, we should be winning this race, and yet we're not. So what the heck do we do now? And we only got 2 weeks left.
On the Big K Morning Show, McAllister said if things stay calm in the Middle East and if there's a good economic report, both could benefit the Harris campaign. A Pittsburgh woman is charged with arson following a weekend fire on the north side. Sandy Bartha is also charged with criminal mischief, causing or risking a catastrophe, and cruelty to animals. That fire Saturday afternoon happened about 1:30 p.m. at Allegheny Commons in the 200 block of East Ohio Street. No injuries were reported, but people in at least 6 apartment units were temporarily displaced. 4 cats and a dog were rescued. Martha has a preliminary hearing scheduled next Monday. If you live in West Deer Township, you'll be paying more for sanitation services. With more on that, here's News Radio KDKA's Rob Taylor.
Starting next year, West Deer residents will pay $32.25 per month to have their garbage picked up. That's over $8 more than it cost last year, and this is due to township supervisors voting to approve a 3-year garbage hauling contract with County Hauling of Bell Vernon. In 2026, residents will pay $36.86, and then in 2027, it goes down to $35.55. West Deer residents had been paying $24 per month for garbage collections by Shank Waste Service of Lower Borough. Rob Taylor, News Radio, KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 227 points at 43,049. The NASDAQ is down 60 points, and the S&P is down 26. KDKA Sports, a doubleheader on Monday Night Football. Baltimore is at Tampa Bay. About 45 minutes later, the Chargers and Cardinals will kick off at Arizona. The news is brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick. For your perfect new roof and a lifetime warranty, trust PJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time, 11:03. Time to call Shenderovich in Fishman. Why pay 40% when you can pay 25%? Call 888-98-TWINS. It's sunny right now, 65 at Pittsburgh International. AAA traffic and the AccuWeather forecast next.
It's happening here in Pennsylvania. Sanctuary cities are releasing violent illegal immigrants onto our streets with the help of Bob Casey. Casey voted repeatedly to fund these dangerous sanctuary cities. Casey's policy let more illegals, more criminals loose in our neighborhoods, making our families less safe. Worse, instead of deporting criminal illegals, Casey voted to give them amnesty. Casey's amnesty would give illegal immigrants your Social Security and Medicare. That's right, Casey would give your benefits to illegals, but he'd also make you pay more. Casey voted for higher taxes on seniors' Social Security benefits. Seniors can't afford higher taxes? Bob Casey, taxing you to pay illegals. It's just another Casey con job. It's time for a change. It's time to fire Bob Casey. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. SenateLeadershipFund.org.
Home ownership. At Progressive, we know it's part of the American dream. It's the land of the free and the home of student drivers ready to back into your new fence at any given time. It's firing up a round of burgers and dogs on your rusty grill with a faulty gas line that engulfs your tool shed in flames. It's also around-the-clock protection when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, which can help keep the American dream of home ownership alive and kicking. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right, thanks, Marty. And we're finally getting back to something that resembles normal on the Parkway West. It does mean that you're backing just before the top of Green Tree Hill, but the earlier accident has been cleared inbound from between Carnegie and Green Tree, so things are rolling better there. Also getting a bit better as the volumes ease on the outbound side, and there's no reason to slow down and look at what's going on the inbound lanes either. Parkway East inbound is heavy for you right around Edgewood Swissvale as you head into the Squirrel Hill tunnels. A little bit of an outbound delay as you approach that Squirrel Hill Homestead interchange. No accidents or disabled vehicles there, and just some heavy traffic. Southbound 28 and 279 are rolling well for you at this point. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
This afternoon is going to be sunny. We'll get very warm with a high of 78. Clear, low 48 tonight, then warm with sun, some clouds, and a high of 82 tomorrow. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Is your furnace ready for winter? Galease Services is here to keep you cozy. Their furnace tune-up not only ensures your system runs smoothly, but also improves energy efficiency, helping you save on your winter utility bills. Visit Galease.com and stay warm with Galease Services. Call Galease.
Looking for a hometown restaurant to feed your team? Well, look no further than Monticello's Italian Restaurant and Pizza. More than 175 million slices of pizza have been sold since Monticello's opened its doors 45 years ago. From homemade lasagna, stuffed shells, chicken wings or chicken marsala to slow-cooked roast beef, salads, and of course pizza, it's all made fresh to order. Visit one of Monticello's 6 North Hills locations for lunch or dinner. Visit Monticellos.com for a taste of homemade Italian food.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Damn. Rocket, dude. Pass the bong. Man. Hey, anyone out there go to the Steeler game last night? Anybody? 866-391-1020. Anybody out there go to the Steeler game? 866-391-1020. Two things I want to say. The Steelers handled the Trump visit to the game magnificently. I did not see Thomas Tull. That might have been Thomas Tull's suite. I didn't see him in the suite. I don't know that that's relevant, but who cares? Number two, I thought the networks handled it incredibly well. Incredibly well. Football's football, and this is a football game. They showed one shot of Trump and mentioned it one time. Good for them. Smart move on Trump's part, by the way. It's Steeler country. Every vote matters, and this is a very important time. I want to grab my man John Nellano, the best in the game. JD, good morning. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well, Marty, and that was a great game yesterday. I wasn't there. I'm watching it on TV like everybody else. But what a great game. And I couldn't agree with you more on your comments. You know, and we were all trying to dig into what suite was the former president in and, you know, all that. Bottom line is that everybody's welcome to a Steelers game.
I agree.
You know?
And JD, the networks.
And there are some, you know, people shouldn't forget that the owner of the Jets is a Trump supporter and was named by Trump to be what, U.S. ambassador to Great Britain during Trump's first term. So he might have been in Woody Johnson's in the owner's seat, but not the Rooneys. The Rooneys have made it very clear they had nothing to do with this.
Yeah, the Steelers handled it really well. The Secret Service did, and honestly, Trump did. He didn't even really post anything during the game.
No. I think again, everybody's welcome to the Steelers game, particularly if they have a terrible towel.
JD, you've been at this longer than most, and you're the guy I go to for the truth. Are you feeling this as close as I'm feeling this?
Oh, yeah. This is a very close election. And, it really does come down, as it always does, to who comes out to vote, who takes the time, who bothers to vote, who's already sent in their mail-in ballots. We know their mail-in ballots are far less than 4 years ago. Naturally, we're not in the middle of a pandemic. I voted by mail in 2020. I'm voting in person in 2024. I think that's pretty normal for a lot of folks. So you can't make judgments on a lot of these things that people try to make judgments on. And I think the polling is consistently showing that it's a jump ball. Now, the polling has underrepresented Trump in years past.
Yes.
But the pollsters, every one of them tells me that I talk to, that they've corrected for that, and so that it's not likely to be as much an undercount as people might think. But it's still within margin of error, so this could go either way, and the next 2 weeks are going to be pretty brutal as these candidates continue to descend on us, and as their negative ads and their negative comments escalate.
JD, if you pay attention, if you're a citizen, and you pay attention to the political ads, they're all horrible people. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. You think everyone was killing somebody with fentanyl, or they're allowing immigrants to come into the country, murdering their sons and daughters. I mean, this is all nonsense. And I think most Americans realize that the depictions of these candidates, and not just for president, but for U.S. Senate, for Attorney General, I mean, this
state rep, state Senate.
I mean, this thing is seeped into the coverage or to the ad campaigns. They all think it works, and maybe to some extent it does. The only way for it not to work is for people to stop paying attention to things like that and to really seek out the truth one way or the other. There's so many variables that go into how people vote, not the least of which, frankly, is that people vote on their party.
Yep.
And, Republicans tend to vote Republican. Democrats tend to vote Democratic, and so the fact that somebody is alleged to have murdered so-and-so because they did such and such, it's just, I think it's nuts, and I think it drives people crazy.
Hey, JD, I wanted to get to this headline. I think I mentioned this yesterday, too. Pennsylvania Governor Shapiro, law enforcement should take a look at Elon Musk voter payments.
Yeah.
He would give $1 million to randomly selected voter who signs a petition circulated by his PAC, and $100 to show up to an event. Is this stuff legal, sir?
Well, when I first saw this, I thought this was that if you're asking or paying someone to sign a petition, that's legal, that there was nothing wrong with that. But there's more to it than that as I've dug into this. Apparently, Elon Musk is requiring that you be a registered voter in order to be eligible for this $1 million a day that he is giving out every day, he says, between now and the election day. And Pennsylvania law is clear, as it is in most states. You can't pay people to register to vote.
Oh.
You can't pay people to vote. If I stood at the polls and handed a $10 bill to every voter coming in and saying, don't forget Marty Griffin for U.S. Senate, I'd be clear violation of the law. And if I, went door to door and said, here's $100 register to vote, we need your vote for Donald Trump or whomever, that's illegal. And so there's a fine line here that Elon Musk has come up to, because it's not that he's paying just for signing a petition.
Right.
He's actually, you have to be a registered voter in order to be eligible for the money that he's handing out. And that, particularly 2 weeks before Election Day, makes it seem really suspicious. So I don't know if I don't know if the state attorney general's looking into this. I don't know if DAs are looking into this. But you can be sure that there's something going on here.
And JD was paying people $100 to come to an event. Is that illegal?
I don't think that's illegal to come to an event, because, again, as long as even if it's a political event, it's not an act that involves the government or voting or choices, things like that. I mean, anybody can show up to an event of some sort. And I just don't. I don't see that as a problem. And again, I don't want to pretend to be an election lawyer.
Yeah, of course.
So we better be careful. But, I mean, my offhand reaction is that, if I wanted to pay you $50 to come with me to a game or go this place or that place or a rally, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I do have a big problem with paying people to register to vote or to vote a certain way. And we know that's what happened years ago. And may still be happening today, so-called street money. Have you heard that concept?
Yes, sir, I have.
Street money, and this was really true of old-time politics, first by the Republicans, then by the Democrats back in the early 1900s. You'd pay people, particularly your newest voters, you would pay them to go vote a straight ticket for one party or the other. That's highly illegal. And let's hope it's not going on, but you never know what's happening out there.
One spot last night during that broadcast, brother, $90,000. JD, in our careers, and they're long.
Yeah.
JD, that's sick. That is sick money. $90,000, local spot, JD.
Yeah, I remember back in the day when it was about $8,000, and I thought that was outrageous.
Yep. JD, I remember when Super Bowl spots in Dallas, when I worked in Dallas, Super Bowl spots, Dallas, 10 times the market, $50,000.
Yep. I mean, this is $90,000 just in one market, Pittsburgh alone. And of course, both campaigns ran ads. Yep. I'm sure you saw them. I saw them. And other campaigns did too. I mean, the money that is in this campaign, not just for president, but for U.S. Senate and for others, and a lot of it's being funded by single billionaires, by individuals. And you don't know who they are, but they're putting money into the campaigns of the candidates that they think will be most likely to represent their interests. They're not giving this money away for fun.
No.
I mean, there's even Elon Musk. I mean, let's be real out there. You don't give away $1 million a day because you want nothing back.
Right on, brother. He wants a big seat at the table, man. JD, you're the best.
Hey, great talking to you, Marty. I hope you and your listeners have an awesome day.
JD knows. Toss up. Right now, toss up. I think folks are leaning towards Trump, but I'm an idiot. Does anyone know Wrong Way Rob Matsey? Anyone? Those ads are killing me. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right, thanks, Marty. We do have the Parkway West inbound backing to the top of Green Tree Hill. If you're heading outbound or eastbound on the Parkway East 376 approaching the Squirrel Hill tunnels, kind of looks like evening rush hour there with slowdowns that greet you right after you pass the Bates Street on-ramp. So the big bend right before you turn and head for the tunnels there. Do leave extra time. If you're coming southbound on the Parkway North, you have traffic that's rolling along just well, but do watch until 3 p.m. today. You could have some bridge inspection crews working where 279 meets 579 at the Veterans Bridge. They're doing some work there. They won't close any ramps while they do the inspection, but you could have some lane pinches there, so watch for slowdowns. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
This portion of the show is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Visit them at awaken180weightloss.com.
Buying a home is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. Before you tour a home, the real estate professional you're working with may ask you to sign a buyer's agreement, which describes the services you'll receive, each party's role and responsibilities, and how your agent will be compensated, all of which you'll want to discuss with them up front. So work with an agent who's a Realtor. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors with a duty to honestly represent you and put your interests above their own, because that's who we are.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or two half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, if you're a mom or dad of a high school athlete who dreams of playing in college, the steps you take now could make all the difference between earning a scholarship or nothing at all. As Pittsburgh's premier recruitment agency, M7 Sports helps you understand what you need to do while giving you and your child the tools to grab the attention of coaches and recruiters. From hype videos to social media guidance, For expert guidance on the road to recruitment, visit m7sports.agency today.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
Are you in need of long-term care but overwhelmed by the prospect of how you will afford it? Help is just a phone call away. This is Ben Urso of Zachariah Brown, Elder Law Attorneys. We will help you navigate the maze of Medicaid planning, veterans benefits, care advocacy, and asset protection planning, and work with you to help you develop a plan for you or a loved one. Call Zachariah Brown at 724-942-6200. That's 724-942-6200. Or visit us at pittsburghelderlaw.com.
So when I went to physical, and it's a physical therapy joint in Monroeville for balance for me personally. It's really changed everything about my balance. I couldn't do rock climbing. I can now. I felt uneasy coming downstairs in the morning. I feel great now. I'm serious. It's amazing what they do at physical. F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L. Physical, 412-457-8200. It's in Monroeville, right behind the Monroeville Mall. Physical, 412-457-8200.
Every child deserves a safe and loving home. CASA of Westmoreland is dedicated to making this a reality. Our court-appointed special advocates give a voice to abused and neglected children in the foster care system. You can be that difference in a child's life. Volunteer with CASA and help guide a child to a brighter future. Visit casaofwestmoreland.org today to learn more. That's casaofwestmoreland.org. Together, we can change lives, one child at a time.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Boom. Anyone at the game? Anyone? Go to the game. Steelers, 866-391-1020. Anyone go to the game? 866-391-1020. Did you go to the game last night? Anyone? Or are you still asleep? 866-391-1020. It was a hell of a game. Great to see them win. Hey, while you're playing that, Patrick, you got me. Remind people, what did you say? Today's the last day to register to vote?
Yes, sir. Last day.
That's it.
I was just pulling up something from Josh Shapiro. He posted an hour ago.
What's he saying?
Reminding folks. Here, I can play it up for you.
Day to register to vote here in Pennsylvania for the election. Our democracy is stronger when more citizens participate. But if you're ineligible,
You get the gist. So last day to register. If you're not registered to vote, got to get it done today.
Today. All right. It's actually been fun to watch. The game last night was a blast. I once again wanted to mention, I don't think Trump was a distraction. I think he came in at the right time. It's actually fascinating, all the pictures that were provided to us. Looked like he was cheering for the Steelers, Trump. He's playing it right. I had this epiphany today. My boy Tony loves him, and we have fought about Trump for months. And I've even had to block a couple friends because they were so obnoxious about I sold out to the left. I'm an idiot and a loser because I don't support Trump. And they became rather obsessed with the narrative that he's wonderful and amazing and he's going to make America whatever it is again. I have found in my life that America is great now, and I see it all the time. I've found that in my circumstance, we create our own greatness with family, with friendships, with relationships, and with making a difference. We're going to do something at 1 o'clock. One of my good friends, Bruce, died 2 years ago. Today, actually. Today's his birthday. And he died, it was about 2 years ago. Horrible cancer that he battled for 7 years. Honestly, had most of his insides removed with laser knives. And I have never met anyone like him who was always so positive and always believed he would live forever. And in his effort to live forever, when he was dying, he sent me a text. We used to communicate 40, 50 times a day. No exaggeration. In his effort to leave a legacy for years and years, he sent me a note that he was going to leave a big chunk of cash, $20,000 in his will, so that every year on his birthday, he would give $1,000 to someone who really needed it. And today's that day. Today's his birthday. We're going to talk to his wife. And I wanted to read, the situation that some of these folks are in that send us these notes. And sometimes I tell Patrick I can't read them anymore because they're, folks are desperate and folks really need help. And let me read this. This is just one of the entrants. And this is why I give a damn. This is what we fight for here every day. Marty, my brother was a successful contractor here in Pittsburgh, who's now suffering from 2 types of cancers and had to give up his business completely in order to continue to pay for his medical bills. He has been in and out of the hospital with pneumonia 3 times since his treatment for cancer, and he just can't seem to get ahead financially because he can't get out of the hospital. That was sent from this young man's brother, and we're going to give him $2,000. Look, if you can't make a difference, if you can't do something positive, why are you here? If you don't care, don't listen to me. If you don't give a damn, don't fight this fight with us, because we care. And honestly, I kind of obsess on this. I don't really care about the crude jokes with Trump. Some of it's kind of nominally humorous. What I care about is his lack of compassion. And I've told my kids this. If you don't have compassion, don't play along with this family, because we will make sure we take care of people. And I'm sitting here thinking of my buddy Bruce. Today's his birthday. Who said, Marty, I want you to celebrate my birthday by taking care of someone who needs it every single year. Now that, folks, matters. That is what I love about sitting in this chair every day.
Spooked by your spouse's cooking? Leave that scary kitchen behind and take your favorite ghouls and goblins out to support a favorite local restaurant. No tricks. Performance Food Service is the top food service distributor in the area. If you're interested in joining their wickedly good team, call them at 724-610-8775. That's 724-610-8775. $3,000 sign-on bonuses are available for order selectors and $15,000 for Class A drivers. Brought to you by Performance Food Service Pittsburgh.
Did you miss this week's Allegheny Health Network Medical Frontiers? Log on to the Allegheny Health Network website to listen to your favorite Medical Frontier show. Visit ahn.org/Medical Frontiers podcast and look for your favorite Medical Frontiers show.
I voted for Donald Trump in 2016 and 2020. Now, for the first time in my life, I'm voting for a Democrat. And the reason for that all started on January 6th when Trump tried to overthrow the government. I don't agree with everything that the Democrats want to do, but I know they don't want to overthrow the government. And it's really that simple. I believe in my democracy. I believe in my country. And it's country over party.
Republican Accountability PAC, Inc., paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. ra-pac.org.
This planet is so incredibly beautiful that I can't get enough of it. I did 950 miles on the Pacific Crest Trail, and Good Feet was with me all the way.
Are you worried about pain and discomfort? Don't let your feet get in the way. Learn how the Good Feet store can help you.
Your passion's important, but if your body aches and if your heel feels like you've got a nail stuck in it and won't come out, trust me, it's going to wear you down. The Good Feet store knew what they were talking about and took the time to really dial in what I needed. I hiked 84 miles in the Himalaya and to do it pain-free. You think I'm not grateful for Good Feet?
You deserve a better life, too. Come to the Good Feet store today. Visit us in Robinson Town Center, in Cranberry Township, in Morgantown at Suncrest Town Center, or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. Good Feet, because you deserve comfort in your life. No waiting required. Good Feet arch supports are immediately available and proudly made in the USA.
Celebrate the spooky season with Zero Res and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129 and take $75 off your air duct cleaning. Book online at ZeroResPGH.com and take advantage of these huge savings. Spell it backwards or forward. It spells the same. Zero Res!
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
65 with fair skies at 11:30. I'm Paul Rasmussen. Former President Donald Trump campaigned across Pennsylvania Sunday, cooking French fries and working the drive-through window at a McDonald's drive-through in Feasterville.
This is fun. I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job. I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again.
On the Big K Morning Show, political analyst Lenny McAllister called the McDonald's event a cheesy but good photo op.
And it does what Donald Trump likes the most, which is, can I drive the news cycle? And again, for an unpollable candidate, if you're driving the news cycle, that might get the hidden voter that's not going to poll, that might slip into a voting booth and vote for Trump and not tell anybody about it until the exit polls.
Vice President Kamala Harris spoke at 2 Atlanta area churches on Sunday. It was her 60th birthday. Harris summoned members of the congregations to turn out at the polls as part of a nationwide push to encourage early voting in the battleground states.
We each as individuals and as a community have the power to make decisions through these next 16 days that will be about a statement about what kind of country do we want to live in.
The election now just over 2 weeks away. A 23-year-old woman died last night after a motorcycle accident in Washington County. A release from the coroner's office says Alyssa Hutchison's cycle was hit by another vehicle on Route 40 in Donegal Township about 7:45. Hutchison died shortly after she was taken to UPMC Washington Hospital. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 385 points at 42,891. The Nasdaq is down 100 points. The S&P down 38 now. KDKA Radio News Time, 11:32. Our next update at noon. I'm Paul Rasmussen on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio KDKA.
It's spooky season. Get your wigs ready or full costumes if you want to go all out. This year's Wig Out Halloween party happens Friday, October 25th at Rivers Casino. Alyssa and I are hosting with all the tunes provided by TJ the DJ. Proceeds support Young Adult Survivors United, the supportive lifeline for young adults ages 18 to 45 when diagnosed with cancer. Details at starpittsburgh.com. North Shore Tavern and Mike's Beer Bar are proud supporters of Young Adult Survivors United.
Right now at Wendy's, you can get a small Frosty for $1. And literally everyone is going. The car behind you, going to get a $1 Frosty. The car ahead of you, already had one, going for a second. The person who cut you off earlier, you guessed it, $1 Frosty. Maybe it's all a sign for you to go get one. Just don't cut anyone off. No one likes that person. The iconic Frosty for $1, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Not valid in a combo. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, California, and via third-party delivery.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. Your coworker Kyle said bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive could save you money. Bad news. While saying this, Kyle was eating your clearly labeled lunch. Dumb news. Pizza near work costs $7 a slice, and it tastes like drywall covered in ketchup. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and enjoy more lunches far away from Kyle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Well, my friends at Coit, they got the coolest deal happening right now. This is an amazing fall clean sale. Check this out. Save 35% off all Coit services, carpets, rugs, drapes, much more. I had them in my house. Matt and Bill were amazing. They've been with Coit more than 20 years. Did insane work on our house. No one cleans homes better than Coit. Right now, call 35% off all Coit services. 35% off. 1-800-FOR-COIT. 1-800-FOR-COIT. Coit, Pittsburgh's premier cleaning.
We all want more. More laughs. More hangouts. More, this is the best takeout ever. Excuse me. But if you're 75 or older or 60 or older with certain health conditions, you've also got more risk of getting seriously sick from RSV. But an RSV vaccine lowers your risk, so you can keep doing more of the stuff you love.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Risk less, do more. Get started at vaccines.gov.
From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right. Well, what's up is some heavy traffic on the outbound or eastbound Parkway East as we head toward those Squirrel Hill tunnels. Marty, we do have heavy delays for you between the Oakland Forbes Avenue off-ramp and where the ramp comes up from Bates Street. So kind of looks like evening rush hour there. Be warned. Parkway West inbound is heavy on the front side of Green Tree Hill. A reminder for you, Pittsburgh Public Works crews have closed the northbound or inbound side of the Glenwood Bridge until about 6 this coming Friday, the 25th. Last week's work on the outbound or southbound lanes of the span have been completed. Those lanes have reopened. Of course, the 56 Lincoln Place bus route is being detoured and 6 stops have been temporarily discontinued. If you have questions, give Pittsburgh Regional Transit a call at 412-442-2000. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Sunny this afternoon. It'll be very warm with a high of 78, then clear, low 48 tonight. Sunny to partly cloudy and very warm, high 82 for tomorrow. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Sunday mornings at 6 a.m. on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA, it's Tech Vibe Radio. Join hosts Audrey Russo and Jonathan Kirsting from the Pittsburgh Technology Council's Huntington Bank Studios as they bring you a front row seat to Pittsburgh's tech sector.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
One of my boys just called me, said the state's coming out with mandates for electric cars. EVs, as they call them. I love them. And I love them because my boy Patrick here has one. And I think it's really cool. I mean, you're loving it, or are you not, sir?
I am loving it. Absolutely.
It's a Tesla, right?
Yep. My first EV.
And it's not a hassle. I'm not trying to speak for you, but...
No, it's not a hassle at all. I plug in at my garage at night. I didn't have to spend any money to upgrade anything for my garage. I plug into the level 1 charger. That's the one that plugs into any regular old outlet in your house or in your garage.
Hold on. I think this is important. I love this. And I wanted to grab him on this morning because I'm seeing a lot more marketing. And I think in the next 2 or 3 years, look, when gas-powered cars first came out, guess what they said? There aren't enough gas stations. It's just the truth.
Right.
And now they're saying there aren't enough charging stations. So you get a regular plug, and you plug it into your car, right?
Yeah.
Right? At night.
Yeah. Well, you plug your charger. You have to buy a charger.
Right.
And
how much is it?
It was $125.
Nothing. Right?
You plug it into the wall, like you plug anything into the wall.
Yeah.
And, the other end you plug into your car.
You run it out to the car.
Yeah.
And what did you say it charges? What's it every hour? How much?
It's like 5 to 7 miles per hour.
Which doesn't seem like a lot, but, tell me how much you drive in a day.
Yeah, I mean, usually to work and back, maybe to the store. So we're talking 20 miles.
Tops. In other words, you're charging enough at night, way more than what you need.
Correct. So I'm charging more than I'm driving.
Yeah.
If I just plug in at night, and I don't plug it in every night now because
you don't?
I don't need to.
I wonder how Ford's doing. You're seeing in the marketing they're giving away this free installation of these charging stations. Now, I looked at that. What is that? About $2,000?
Yeah, that could be up to about $2,000.
And that's what the more powerful.
That's the level 2 charger, which is essentially like plugging into your dryer outlet.
Dryer outlet.
Yep.
And how fast does that charge?
That one I think is like 30 to 40 miles an hour.
Is it? That's kind of cool. And then you said something really kind of smart too. So when you first got it, it was kind of low. So you went, what is it, a supercharging? What do you call it?
Yeah, I went to one of the Tesla superchargers. You see them, some Target parking lots.
Yeah.
A lot of Sheets. There aren't a ton of them around, but there's enough. There's one in Harmer that I go to. And what normally would have cost me about $65 to fill up my gas car for the same range cost me, I think it was $20.
Right. Okay, and how long? And for folks out there thinking about buying electric, I think my son, who's 13, I think his first car will be an electric. But how long does it take to get that done?
15 to 30 minutes.
That's it. Full charge.
Full charge.
And how far can you drive on that?
That's 260 miles.
Whoa.
That's charging it to 80%.
Whoa.
So if I was going to take a longer trip, I think my range is 320.
You haven't done that yet?
I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
It's coming soon, though.
Yeah. First of all, and are they pulling their pants down with these tax credits and stuff still on price?
Yeah, the tax credits are all still there.
Are they? So how much do you get?
If you lease, you get it off the top on the front.
Really? How much?
Yeah. The federal, it's $7,500.
$7,500?
Yeah.
Wow, that brings it down.
It does bring it down.
I saw a piece in the Wall Street. I love this information, by the way. I'm so glad we brought this up today. I saw a piece in the Wall Street Journal about EVs. They said that there is a crap ton, their words, not mine, of used electric vehicles on the road. Is that true?
Yeah, and the prices on those are ridiculously cheap.
Like, give me an idea.
Cases. Well, so if you bought a new Tesla Model Y, I think it's around 50,000.
Is that what you have?
Yes,
that's sharp.
Yeah, I'm leasing one.
Uh-huh.
So brand new, it's around 50.
50 grand.
If I bought,
is that after the discount?
That's before
tax credit.
That's
okay.
before the credit.
Okay.
Okay. But if I find a used with 30 to 50,000 miles on it, the price is going to be around 30.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But you can't get the same financing, can you, on a used car?
No, you're going to get used car financing.
I see.
So you're going to pay higher interest rates.
I see. Number two, it's really quiet. Is that weird to kind of get used to?
I thought it would be, but no, not really. I love that it's quiet.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's beautiful. And then I heard from people that big screen was distracting. I don't find it distracting. Do you?
I find it much less distracting. In fact, there's fewer screens. You've got one screen. My other car, I had a screen in the front where the speedometer and all of that information is, and then you had the other big screen next to it with your infotainment and all the other stuff.
I've seen other cars on the road. Was it Rivian? Is it
Rivian?
Cool looking.
Very cool.
And then you looked at another car you thought about buying, another brand. What was it called? I forget.
I was looking at the Polestar.
But that was so cheap, it was kind of getting weird. It was so cheap.
Well, they were leasing them for like $300 a month. Again, it's another one of the companies that's having some trouble.
Struggling.
It's one that was started by Volvo. It's like in a deal with Chinese automaker Geely, and everything they produce that's not made in the U.S. is going to be subject to that 100% tariff.
But for you to get it fixed, you'd have had it brought to Ohio?
There's not a dealership nearby. The closest, Columbus, Ohio, and Washington, D.C. They're building one in Philly, but they don't have plans to do one here. And as of right now, the Volvo dealerships, I believe, are only authorized to do body work. So everything else would have to be flatbed taken off to either Columbus or D.C.
And so if your car breaks today, who fixes it?
Tesla,
right here in town.
Right here in town. They have two service centers.
Two service centers. One of my boys sent me a note, and I have seen this, the Kia Sorento EV 2025 model, $74,000. Some of them are very expensive, but they'll come down.
Well, Kia has just started rolling out a $20,000 model of the EV2 rolled out in South Korea, and it's it won't be too long before those start making it here.
I saw Hyundai trying to do the same thing. My theory is it'll be like anything else. Within 5 years, we'll be laughing at how small the batteries are and how efficient the cars are. And our kids will say to their kids, we used to have these cars, you used to put gas in it, which came from the ground, this stuff called oil, right?
Yeah, and the new chargers, Tesla just unveiled its new, you don't have to plug it in. You just pull up and roll over the plate, and it charges in your garage. And they're doing that on their new models that are coming out.
What happened to the text? Billy wants to know what happened to the Tesla dealership in Wexford.
Is it completely gone?
Is it gone?
I know they have a place in Bridgeville.
I see. I saw it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I thought they were going to keep their service center in Wexford. That's what they had told me when I was looking 6 months ago. But they're only licensed to have, I think, one in this region right now.
I see.
So it was either Bridgeville or Wexford, and I think they own their land.
I think my son will be the first one of our kids to have an electric. I think they're cool. I think in 3 to 5 years, and he'll be driving in 3 years, I think. If you just read, and I read a lot, the technology is changing daily. I think they're going to be amazing. But I just got a call from a big shot car guy who said there's some regulation coming in Pennsylvania that could really put the screws to dealers and dealerships. We will have that for you as soon as we get it. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic powered by Bowser. Helen Gamble, what's up?
All right, Marty. Well, it's great depending on where you go. Nice sunny Monday. The Steelers had a win, and in some cases, the roads are fine. Other cases, not so much. Parkway West inbound, as usual, stacking right around the top of Green Tree Hill, fitting into those Fort Pitt tunnels for your just before noontime commute into downtown. Trying to get into town by way of the Liberty tunnels. Things are okay for you on 51 northbound, but West Liberty Avenue is stacking between Brookside and Pioneer as you make your way into the tubes there. Outbound Parkway East looks like evening rush hour slow for you right around the Bates Street on-ramp as you make your way up to the Squirrel Hill tunnels. Inbound on that ride, you're just getting in line a little bit between Edgewood, Swissvale, and the inbound tunnel portal headed toward town. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Look out! Here comes Wrong Way Rob Matzy. Always flying the wrong way. Matzy sent millions of your tax dollars to Philadelphia. While here in Beaver County, we needed help. In fact, Rob Matzy votes 99% of the time with the woke Philadelphia liberals. And Rob Matzy's not lying straight when it comes to our values. Rob Matzy voted to make it easier to let violent criminals back on the street. Matzy even voted to let biological males on girls' sports teams and in their locker rooms. With Wrong Way Rob Matzy in the cockpit, it's all left wing. Rob Matzy doesn't share our values anymore. A lifetime on the taxpayer dime made him forget where he's from. To Rob Matzy, Beaver County's just flyover country. But there's hope. Michael Parrish shares our values. He'll fight for jobs, lower taxes, and make life affordable again. Michael Parrish, he shares our values. One of us for a change.
Paid for by HRCC, authorized by Michael Parrish.
Wow, honey, have you seen the electric bill?
Yeah, it's out of control. But have you heard of Navien tankless water heaters?
Tankless? How does that even work?
Well, instead of constantly heating and storing water, it only heats water when we need it. So much more efficient than our giant tank heater.
That sounds great. Let's look into Navien.
Already on it.
Imagine all the hot water you need only when you need it. Bulky tanks are history. Navien high-efficiency tankless is the future. Compact, wall-hung units free up floor space, lower energy bills, longer life than tanks, and a 15-year warranty. Find out more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Don't delay in getting that plumbing repair done. Call Palucci Plumbing today for all of your plumbing needs. From trenchless sewer repair and waterline repairs and replacement, hot water tanks, sewer camera inspections, to Pittsburgh potty repairs, no job is too small for Palucci Plumbing. Owners Amy and Nick Palucci have been in business for over 20 years, so give them a call for your next plumbing repair or replacement. Palucci Plumbing, 412-782-5050. That's 412-782-5050.
Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store. Visit the store for a free test walk. Visit us in Robinson Town Center, in Cranberry Township, and now open in Morgantown. Good Feet arch supports are proudly made in the USA.
Folks, I'm so jazzed about this. Got to introduce you to this great company. Three cousins. So cool. Calvin, Sam, and Steve. Owners of CNS Construction, local guys, Pittsburgh's premier builder for decks, roofs, siding, windows, and doors. You got to check out their work all around town. They're cousins. Call the cousins. 989-COUSINS. That's 989-COUSINS. And right now, they're offering half off installation. CNS Construction. I'm serious about this. I've seen their work. Love them.
And now for a business news update from the Pittsburgh Business Times. I'm managing editor Mike Larson. Pittsburgh International Airport could break 10 million passengers by the end of 2024. There were 7.5 million passengers through Pittsburgh International Airport through the end of September, according to data released Friday during the Allegheny County Airport Authority's monthly meeting. Airport Authority CEO Christina Cassotis said it was possible that a notable round number could happen in 2024. The last time Pittsburgh International had 10 million passengers was in 2005. Also, the University of Pittsburgh has hired a new athletic director. On Friday, the university announced it had hired Alan Green, the senior deputy athletic director at the University of Tennessee, to take over the athletic department. According to a release from the school, Green will start in his new role on November 1st. Pitt parted ways with its former athletic director, Heather Lyke, last month. For more on these stories and other local business news, log on to pittsburghbusinesstimes.com. I'm Mike Larson.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
One of my boys sent me a note that he wasn't offended, and I love him, by the way. He's one of my favorite people. Where is he here? Jim. When I compared Trump to Lenny Bruce, I'm immune to Trump locker room talk. However, I was more offended that a reporter would ask Arnold Palmer's daughter about it. Why? It's kind of called doing your job. So, my man, Jim, if you're listening, you got to call me so we can debate this. A reporter's job is to actually find balance in a story. Do you mind playing that, my friend? Thank you. This is Trump.
Man, this man was strong and tough, and I refuse to say it, but when he took showers with the other pros, they came out of there, they said, oh my God, that's unbelievable. I had to say it. We have women that are highly sophisticated here, but they used to look at Arnold as a bad, but he was really...
What the hell does he mean? We have women here that are sophisticated. It's guttural, it's locker room, it's low life, it's scumbag, and you love it. And I'm kind of hanging on this narrative today because I had this epiphany about this, that you love him. And you know what? Trump said this years ago, that he could shoot someone in Times Square and you would still vote for him. Most people say the reason why, and it's always the same narrative, is that the economy was better under Trump. And they think that he would be a better world leader, and they don't give a squat about what he says. The same old ladies that sent my boss 2 letters that I said damn on the air and want me fired have no problem talking about Trump, talking about Arnold Palmer's genitalia. And my boy Jim, who's been in politics more than 40 years, and I love him, and I love his insight, said that he was more offended that a reporter would reach out to Arnold Palmer's daughter. What the hell are you talking about, man? Here's what she said. She had no problem with the reporter. Here's a quote. Peggy, by the way, is 68 years old. There are other things about my dad that would be better to focus on. One quote. Another quote. I think it's an unfortunate way to remember my dad. And finally, see, the way Trump presented it, it was as if he was boys with Arnie. Okay? Okay. And she said, finally, my father was appalled, meaning Arnold Palmer, by Trump's lack of civility and what he began to see as Trump's lack of character. These are my issues. But at the end of the day, if he creates a better economy, in your mind, at the end of the day, if you think there's no other way, in your mind, I completely get it. Hey, man, I don't judge. I just find him to be vulgar and insensitive and showing a definite lack of compassion and civility. Somehow you think these traits of weakness are positive characteristics. What's amazing about folks that love Trump, and millions of Americans do, millions, is that they forgive every single thing he says and does, But if someone in their household, their husband, their son, talked the same way, that they would smack the crap out of them. It's actually something I've never seen before in my career, but that I've come to accept. The demeaning tone by which he talks to women. He's a total misogynist, insane narcissist. Yet somehow you find greatness in his weaknesses. And I accept that. If you're asking me today, who wins this election? And I know this is the narrative this morning because so much happened over the weekend. There's a brilliance to him, people say. In one quote from one guy, and that's the smartest guy I know, and I got to read this. I got to get to it first. Hold on one second. And this, to me, nails it regarding Trump. Marty, Trump knows there's a certain locker room, third grade, little boy humor that men are attracted to, and that's his play. He's a real-life reality show, and we've become an entertainment culture, and there might not be a better entertainer in this era. Can't argue. I can't argue. I can't argue with any of it. From one of my boys, all this Trump stuff makes me think of my grandfather. He died in 2018 at 92 years old. He was born in Tarentum and was a lifelong Republican. Denise saying, please stop. Why? What would you rather me do, Denise? He was born in Tarentum and was a lifelong Republican. Got the White House Christmas cards during the Reagan and Bush administrations. All of that. Loyal as hell to the GOP, always. He cast his last vote for president in 2016 for Trump. He couldn't fathom even considering a vote for Hillary Clinton. About 2 years later, not long before Grandpa passed, I asked him what he thought of Trump by that point. He paused, almost embarrassed. He looked at me and said, not much. And one of my boys, someone I prefer to call Oz, said he's Rodney Dangerfield from Caddyshack. I completely agree with all this stuff, that somehow he's become this P.T. Barnum, right? That you're enamored with and that you can't let go of no matter what the hell he does. And he said it best. I could shoot someone in Times Square today and you would still vote for me. And I'm convinced you would.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Have you ever thought about joining a credit union? There are plenty of great benefits and perks. Hi, it's Dan Zangrilli. Some think that you have to be part of a club or know someone to get in. Not the case. At Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union, you simply need to live, work, or worship in Allegheny, Butler, or Beaver counties, and you're eligible to join for just $5. Unlock the great rewards of a credit union. Shape your future with Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by the NCUA. Visit AllegiantFCU.org to get started today.
Honey, I got a guy to fix our roof.
Oh no. The last time your friend recommended a guy, we had to get the repairs repaired.
It's not just any guy, it's PJ Fitzpatrick. Look, they have thousands of 5-star reviews and over 40 years of experience. PJ can fix leaky windows, broken siding, rotted trim, and damaged leaking roofs in just one day. Plus, PJ Fitzpatrick can even clean our gutters.
That's my kind of guy. What are you waiting for? Visit TrustPJ.com and set up an appointment today. TrustPJ.com.
California Psychics is the real deal. They helped me out, totally changed my attitude, totally got me psyched to start my business and to take a new path in my life.
At California Psychics, we only connect our customers with the best. We reject 98% of the psychics who apply to us, so we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots.
And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too. Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
70 with fair skies at 12 o'clock. I'm Paul Rasmussen. An interim report from the Congressional Task Force looking into the attempted assassination of Donald Trump in Butler says the tragic events of July 13th were preventable. Here's News Radio KDKA's David Valerato.
The panel says it came to that conclusion based on a number of interviews and studying thousands of pages of documents. It says there was poor communication with no clear chain of command between federal, state, and local authorities at the Trump rally. That made it possible for gunman Thomas Crooks to open fire, injuring the former president, killing Corey Comparator, and injuring 2 others. The AGR complex should have also been within the Secret Service security parameters, and the local snipers placed inside it had a narrow field of vision and couldn't monitor it properly. The committee's final report is due in mid-December. David Ballarado, News Radio, KDKA.
Campaign 2024, the race for the White House.
Well, the Trump campaign is launching a bus tour across Pennsylvania today. Stops on the itinerary include State College on Tuesday, Punxsutawney and Newcastle on Wednesday, and on Thursday, Canonsburg and Monroeville. Vice President Kamala Harris will be in Chester County today. She's kicking off a 3-state tour. Today is the last day to register to vote in Pennsylvania. A political analyst is concerned about the nation's political discourse. On the Big K Morning Show, Lenny McAllister said politics is becoming a dangerous sport.
People are ignoring just certain lines of decorum and decency when it comes to how we talk about each other, how we debate each other, and how we pursue votes or pursue what we want in public policy. And that is dangerous.
McAllister said the current political climate makes the U.S. more vulnerable to an external threat. The city and Allegheny County controllers are kicking off separate audits of operations at the county's 911 center. Corey O'Connor's audit will focus on working conditions and tech resources, while Rachel Heisler's will focus on response times. They will then compare what they find to nationally recognized best practices. Motorists are dealing with another closure of the Glenwood Bridge this week. Here's News Radio KDKA's Greg McAtee.
Through Friday at 6 p.m., the northbound lanes of the Glenwood Bridge are closed for the replacement of an expansion dam. The same project closed the southbound lanes last week. A detour is posted and once again calls for the temporary closing of 6 stops of the Pittsburgh Regional Transit's 56 Lincoln Place route. More info at the PRT's customer service line at 412-442-2000. Greg McAtee, News Radio, KDKA.
A breakfast staple is on a new recall list. CBS's Matt Piper has that.
More than 500 varieties of frozen waffles manufactured by Treehouse Foods have been recalled. It's because they could be contaminated with listeria. They're sold under major store brands like Walmart's Great Value and Target's Good and Gather. They're also sold at Aldi, Dollar General, Publix, and other big chains.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 301 points at 42,975. The NASDAQ is down 20. The S&P is down 22. KDKA Sports, a doubleheader on Monday Night Football. Baltimore at Tampa Bay. The Chargers and Cardinals play at Arizona. The news is brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick, installing most roofs in just one day. TrustPJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time, 12:03. Recently lost your health insurance or don't have insurance through an employer? Contact Dana Schmidt at One Health Benefits, 724-799-8873. 70 and mostly sunny in Pittsburgh. The AccuWeather forecast next.
Buying or selling a home is a big deal. Literally. It's one of the largest financial transactions you're likely to make. So work with someone who will work with your best interest in mind. Someone who agrees to operate with transparency, honesty, and fairness every step of the way. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors and are bound by a strict code of ethics that requires they put your interests above their own. Because that's who we are. Make sure your agent is a Realtor.
Tired of ads interrupting your favorite news podcasts?
Good news! Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Stay up to date on everything newsworthy with podcasts like The Daily, Up First, and 5 Things Uninterrupted at Amazon.com/ad-free. Just head to Amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
So when I went to physical, and it's a physical therapy joint in Monroeville for balance for me personally. It's really changed everything about my balance. I couldn't do rock climbing. I can now. I felt uneasy coming downstairs in the morning. I feel great now. I'm serious. It's amazing what they do at Physical. Physical. Physical, 412-457-8200. It's in Monroeville, right behind the Monroeville Mall. Physical, 412-457-8200.
As a mom of 3, I'm responsible for big decisions impacting my family. Last year, we needed to replace a few appliances. Imagine my surprise when I learned that some places are banning gas stoves. Now, new government auto mandates mean we could pay thousands more for our next vehicle. We need more energy and more choices, not fewer. Learn more at energycitizens.org.
Paid for by the American Petroleum Institute.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Sunny this afternoon. It'll be very warm with a high of 78, then clear, low 48 tonight. Sunny to partly cloudy and very warm, high 82 for tomorrow. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Tune in to 1020 KDKA Radio for Medical Frontiers with Dr. Gerald Pfeiffer from the Allegheny Health Network every Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. Dr. Pfeiffer and his special guests will cover the information that you want to know about your health and the latest trends in medicine.
The 50,000-watt voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
I want to talk about how the Secret Service managed Trump's visit to Acrisure. And I have Ron Layton here to run us through it. But first I want to run. This kind of sums up my narrative today, my discussion about Donald Trump and where America's at and where you're at with Trump. And I want you folks to hear. This was Trump when he was campaigning. This is, 4 years ago? Yeah. Listen. Thanks, Aaron.
Well, my people are so smart. And you know what else they say about my people? The polls. They say, I have the most loyal people. Did you ever see that? Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible. No, they say, Trump, we love you too, man. Trump's voters are by far, I'm at 68, 69%. I'm at 90% total. Like, will you say absolutely? I think it's 68 or 69%.
Right. Thank you, Aaron.
Will you most likely?
But he's right. And I've learned this, and that was, 4 or 5 years ago? It hasn't changed. If anything, people are more obsessed with him. The comments he made about Arnold Palmer were obnoxious and vile, and you folks loved him. Loved it. Thought it was wonderful. Charming. Entertaining. He's kidding. All right. That's where we're at. Meantime, this House panel report, Mike Kelly, by the way, headed this up. The congressmen were trying to grab him here this morning, and in all likelihood, we will have him live. But this bipartisan House panel calls what happened preceding the July 13th shooting in Butler a stunning security failures. Ron Layton, you would agree with that, would you not, sir?
So, Marty, good afternoon. Thanks for having me back on KDKA.
Yes, sir, brother.
So I was able to read the congressman's report earlier today. He's got 8 findings that are core findings. With what happened regarding the Butler matter. Findings 2, 3, and 4 were the ones that jumped out to me. Finding 2, that the AGR perimeter was not big enough. The building that was the building in question, that should have been under the positive control of the Secret Service. And we've talked about why. They didn't have enough people, didn't have enough resources. that authority and that responsibility was given to others, and there was clear that there was not appropriate direction to that sniper team, which sat inside. That sniper team also cited things like weather, and it was hot out. You can read that on page 18 of the report. That was finding 2, which is valid. Finding 3 is the issue with the direction of the Secret Service. Hey, if there's something on game day that's wrong, then it needs to be fixed on that day. And then finding 4 is really, it's a big issue for me because communications and logistics are the lifeblood of an organization. And so finding 4 was really that there wasn't a unified command. So you've got, in essence, one cube or one building on one side, another building on another side. You've got cops in both buildings, and guys can't talk to one another. You don't have good communications. You don't have good operations. But in the aggregate, the report is accurate, and it is stunning, along with all the other reports. And there is one other thing that really is bothering me, Marty.
Yeah.
So when I started in the Secret Service, the old bosses would not get on television and confirm what day it was. That's just the way that they were. But here's why.
Yeah.
And this has been lost in the current era. You mentioned this early in the show. It's one report after another report after another report.
Yep.
So some of this, especially against the backdrop of an Iranian threat, Marty, I could take a fairly sophisticated group of actors, and this is my concern,
right? I
could re-engineer every site. I could re-engineer these things, and I could determine the techniques, the equipment, and the field strength. And that's giving the playbook to the people who want to hurt us and hurt this country. And I've got a significant problem with that.
Wow.
And so it would be like so everybody feels great today like I do because our Steelers won last night.
Yeah.
But if Coach Tomlin had got on the radio or got on television on Tuesday and said, we're playing the Jets Sunday night, this is exactly what we're doing, that'd be crazy. But, Marty, that's what we're doing as a society with all of these reports. It's troubling.
One of my boys who works with the Secret Service and has been at all these events in Butler and was in Latrobe over the weekend just sent me a text. Latrobe, and I say it that way because I can, was still a SHI blank show. Don't see much changes. Is that possible? That they could still be doing the same thing?
Well, I obviously would need additional context, but one of the things that I will tell you is that when you have large events, depending on your point of view, are going to get managed in different ways. Much of what the former president now is receiving, whether it's glass or drones or all of these things that, we've been citing, some of these things are not visible to the naked eye. And here's the other thing, too. I'm sure the Secret Service will get blamed for it, and I don't want to place blame because there's enough of that to go around. But when you put together a major event, like a stadium or anything like that, you know who does a lot of that work? No. Staff does. Staff is responsible for doing so much of this work, and that's why, the Secret Service has to do a great job working in coordination with staff. But the Secret Service does not, particularly when it is not an emergency, tell the president or tell the staff what the staff can do or not do. Believe it or not, it is a negotiation. Now, we're living in an unusual time because we've had 2 attempts at his life. So staff is going to they're going to listen to the service a little bit more. But a lot of this is not just, the service doesn't say we're going to construct the site in a certain way that looks, palatable for the camera. That's staff stuff.
I am fascinated by all of it, and I want to drill down on what we saw. I was texting back and forth with Ron all night last night as that game evolved about the Secret Service and their commitment and how they prepared. Can you hang, brother?
I sure can.
All right. And again, we're waiting on Congressman Kelly. His people just texted me that he will most likely be made available to us about this report. My only argument is at some point, enough is enough. And what Ron's saying is, now we're showing them the damn playbook, the enemy. And that's not good either. Fascinating stuff. We'll be right back.
This portion of the show is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Visit them at awaken180weightloss.com.
Buying a home is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. Before you tour a home, the real estate professional you're working with may ask you to sign a buyer's agreement, which describes the services you'll receive, each party's role and responsibilities, and how your agent will be compensated, all of which you'll want to discuss with them up front. So work with an agent who's a realtor. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors with a duty to honestly represent you and put your interests above their own, because that's who we are.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or two half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
Everyone, Bob Pompiani here from MetaConnect. You know, I have a couple of years before I turn 65, but it's important to have a solid game plan in place. There are over 70 different Medicare plans offered in this region. To discuss which plan is right for you, call the top-rated experts at MetaConnect. It's a free service. Picking the right Medicare plan is something you don't want to fumble. 888-818-6334 or check out their website at MetaConnectInsurance.com and tell them Bob Pompiani sent you.
Longing for thick, healthy, gorgeous hair? Say goodbye to shedding thin and dull hair and hello to thick, healthy hair with hair volume from New Nordic.
This is Dr. Shufo from the Weight Loss and Wellness Center. I'm here to ask you if you'd like to make some positive changes in your body and health. If your answer involves weight loss, then I indeed can help. You can have that excess weight off in a matter of months. It'll be you and me throughout the process, everyday foods, supplements, and accountability. Stop putting very important things off and call me today at 1-800-900-THIN. It could be a difference between life and death.
So the best tree service, the best, most highly trained, the best pricing, the safest, the most reliable, the most professional, and they do free tree service for veterans, World War II veterans. They're the most amazing people I ever met. My man Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service. I'm telling you, branches, trees, you name it, the biggest jobs and the smallest jobs. 412-415-7331. 412-415-7331. Call them.
Serious savings at your local Par-Mar store. Dan's angrily reminding you to download the Par-Mar Stores app and save big. Get 3 cooler beverage items with your Par-Mar Rewards card and get 10 cents off per gallon of gas. And remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Paid for by government. Now is the time to fill your vault with Morgan's Silver Bars. Grab your piece of America's silver legacy with this special offer. These spectacular shining silver bars featuring a crisp image of the iconic Morgan Silver Dollar, a legendary coin that has captivated collectors for generations. Americans treasure owning silver bars and coins, putting them away for themselves and their loved ones. Call now to secure 1-ounce silver bars minted in 99.9% pure silver and made in the USA. You'll be glad you did. Hurry, don't miss out on this special deal. Save $10 per silver bar. The more you buy, the more you save. Limit of 25 bars per customer. Call to learn more. Plus, with qualifying orders, you'll receive a free Morgan Silver Dollar. That's a $59.95 value and free shipping. Call 1-800-222-3871 now to secure your 1-ounce Morgan Silver Dollar bars. That's 1-800-222-3871.
The Halloween sale's happening now at Spitzer Acura. But don't worry, there's absolutely no tricks. Panda only dishes out treats at Spitzer Acura, like monster savings on new Acuras with the Panda price and a sweet lifetime powertrain warranty at no charge. Plus, anytime you come in for service, you'll get a complimentary loaner vehicle. So don't miss the Halloween sale. Stop in and let our friendly consultants help you find your perfect new Acura.
Whack more. Spend less at Spitzer Acura McMurray.
revolves around you.
See dealer for details.
Need a spark? For $49, Galease Services will replace 5 outlets or switches. Call 412-831-6199. Excludes certain panels. Grounding required. One-time use per home. Not valid with other offers. PA 10887.
Call Galease.
UPMC, life-saving, life-changing information. Amazing.
CBS Eye on Veterans from ConnectingVets.com. Scientist Henry O'Connell and a colleague who pioneered speech-to-text technology joined forces to create the Canary Speech app. It can detect depression and anxiety from small samples of the user's voice, and it's their hope it can be used to help veterans.
So beneath the words are how speech is created. Canary analyzes everything but the words. We actually look at 2,548 different elements and 15 million every minute. And we correlate that with a range of different diseases, things like anxiety and depression. And PTSD is a model we're building right now.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Come join our growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right. Marty Griffin with Ron Layton talking about the Secret Service and prepping for Trump. For the Steeler game. Ron, I sent you a bunch of different picks. It looks like they did a hell of a lot to make sure the president is protected inside the stadium. When they set something like that up, is it difficult, a stadium kind of event like that, sir?
So, Marty, stadiums present a specialized set of problems and also a set of circumstances that are actually favorable. So think about all the people who showed up at Acrisure. To get into the games, you can't bring weapons in. And one of the ways that they confirm that is they make you go through magnetometers. And so obviously a big deal for the Secret Service is to go into crowds that have been magged. So that is actually very positive. The other thing, too, is that if you can take a protectee and put him or her inside of a suite, that will allow you to put glass in front of the exposed areas. And so for those reasons, stadiums really aren't bad because generally what happens is you section off a part of the stadium and you make that the exclusive inner perimeter, and you really start to control who can come in and who can come out. The problem with stadiums is that evacuation is very difficult and slow. Think of how much time it took to get Mr. Trump off of a stage in Butler. And think of how much criticism that the agency took. One of the things that has not been levied is, and we were just having a conversation about with the staff component of this, steps are awful on an outdoor event. They're just awful. I used to cringe. You always want a ramp because a ramp allows everybody to run down that ramp and get in those cars and get away. But the point is that you are trying to get the protectee out of danger. You can't do that in the stadium. So what has to happen is you have to make a decision. If something happens, you're really not going anywhere. And so there has to be a different set of resources that are available to take a protectee, put them someplace, and then you've got to fight outward because you're not going anywhere because you can't. So those are some of the major lines of demarcation between things like stadiums and other events.
Hey, one of my insiders who was actually working the game said exactly what you just said. They blocked off a whole section, put bulletproof glass in. I also sent you pictures of heavily camoed and dressed in black law enforcement folks. You said there were two teams or from two different entities. What was that, Ron?
So, Marty, the teams that are typically in black are going to be Secret Service assaulters or counter-assault team officers. They're the rough equivalent of like an FBI hostage rescue team. I spent 7 years on that in that unit. So when we were overseas, we would work side by side with Navy SEALs from Team 6, with the Army's Delta Group. That's the rough equivalent. And so remember what I just said about finding a fixed position to fight from. That's the team that's going to fight. Think about it like this. What we saw in Butler, You saw people in suits that jumped on top of the former president and got him into the cars. Well, those people aren't fighting anybody. What they want to do is they want to cover and evacuate. But if you have a situation wherein you've got multiple shooters or shooters that have not been neutralized and you're trying to move a protectee, those guys in the suits, they're not fighting, they're running. Who's going to stand and fight? That's the CAT team.
Ron Layton. So we keep hearing all these reports. They keep talking about change. Have they made substantive changes already, sir?
Yeah, the former president likely he has presidential protection assets and resources that are close to what the current president has.
Nice.
We talked about the issue and all of the classified stuff that the military assists the Secret Service with. That's why it's so hard to get what is in essence a civilian, the same stuff. But it is better than any former president's ever had. For example, I don't ever remember former presidents receiving on a regular basis shielding like glass.
Oh,
that was almost always reserved the exclusive domain of the president. Always.
And by the way, Ron, that's a pain in the butt to get in there, is it not? That glass.
Well, Marty, it's thousands of pounds. It is better. It is better than pistol grade. Obviously, it's rifle grade glass. You have to have a lot of it, and the thing is that how do you transport that? You're not going to put it in Pat's Tesla, right? You've got to fly that generally on an Air Force aircraft, and there are so many safeguards and measures to protect the glass. They're very, they're all those folks that hang that glass. They've all got engineering degrees. But the point is that the resources that are now surrounding President Trump are the resources that are adequate to keep him protected.
So they are doing better, and I don't want to speak for you.
But yeah, no, they are doing much better in terms of resources, in terms of actual bodies that are there. The issue is they had to ramp up quickly.
Yep.
And it is very difficult to ramp up in terms of an experience gap because where are you going to get those people from? Those are things that we've talked about in the past. But is it much better than it was? Yeah, 5 times better.
Ron Layton, thank you, brother. You're absolutely the best.
Marty, thank you and be well.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Plan ahead and never miss a moment as a member of Steelers Nation. We have a ton of fun, new annual events planned for fans in the 2024 season. From dinners with Steelers legends and a fashion show featuring some of your favorite players, to parties on the road and clinics for kids to learn football, fans of all ages have plenty of opportunities for fun off the field. Visit our events calendar at Steelers.com/events for early access to details and tickets.
Natural disasters happen every year. Fires, hurricanes, tornadoes. And with that, your most important moments recorded on VHS, camcorder tapes, and 8mm could all be gone in an instant. Cherished moments like your wedding, baby's first steps, family trips to Yellowstone, lost. Enter Legacy Box. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box protects your irreplaceable memories from the threat of natural disaster by digitally preserving them onto thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud, so they're safe forever. Legacy Box is the safest and easiest way to preserve your past, which is why it's been trusted by over 1 million families. Send Legacy Box your home movies, photos, and film. Their team of trained professionals will do the rest right here in the U.S. For a limited time, Legacy Box is offering radio listeners an incredible 50% off. Go to legacybox.com/value and save 50% when you digitize your memories. That's legacybox.com/value.
Mark your calendars for KDKA WPIAL Selection Saturday. Presented by Penn West University at 1 o'clock. Watch on the KDKA High School Sports YouTube channel or listen right here on the flagship station of the WPIAL. Who's in and who's out of the playoffs for high school football? KDKA Radio is the only place you can find out first. Saturday at 1. It's brought to you by Home Team Collections, Monticello's Restaurant and Pizza, and by Noble Environmental Services. High school football lives on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
In today's world, energy security means more than just keeping the lights on. It's about making America stronger by reducing our dependence on foreign oil. Ethanol helps fuel our nation's energy security. Made right here in America, ethanol keeps gas prices lower. It's renewable, reliable, and helps create American jobs. On Election Day, join us in choosing candidates who support ethanol and the renewable fuel standard. Paid for by the Renewable Fuels Association.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM at AM 1020 KDKA.
Sunny and 54 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 12:30. I'm Paul Alexander. With 2 weeks left in the presidential campaign, the candidates are preparing for their closing arguments. This radio KDK's Paul Rasmussen has more.
What does each side have to do to close the deal? Political analyst Lenny McAllister says Donald Trump's message should be,
if you want that level of prosperity again, you want that level of stability internationally, and you want an economy that you can be able to buy groceries and not have to put it on your credit card again, you vote for me.
And for Kamala Harris, McAllister suggests,
you say, look at the chaos that you had with the Trump administration for 4 years. Look at the way he handled his wartime crisis, which was the pandemic. I spent 4 years cleaning it up with Joe Biden. Now it's time for me to take another 4 years.
Election Day is November 5th. Paul Rasmussen, News Radio KDKA.
Donald Trump took a break from the campaign to watch the Steeler game last night. The former president was invited to the game by a suite holder. Carnegie Mellon police officer was injured in a motorcade accident in the Trump motorcade to Acrisure Stadium. Happened around 8:45 on Carson Street near the West End Circle. The officer was thrown from the motorcycle. When it hit a curb, he was taken to the hospital in stable condition. The bipartisan panel headed by Congressman Mike Kelly is out with an interim report on the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. News Radio KDK's David Bolorado has the latest.
Fragmented lines of communication and unclear chains of command. These are among the findings that the Congressional Task Force cited in its investigation into the July 13th shooting. The bipartisan panel says there were several pivotal points when law enforcement officials, whether federal, state, or local, could have engaged gunman Thomas Crooks, especially as his behavior that day became increasingly suspicious. Yet the poor lines of communication allowed him to evade law enforcement. The panel also questions why the Secret Service didn't do a better job of securing the American Glass Research Building from which Crooks fired his shots. David Bolorado, News Radio, KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 330 points, the NASDAQ down 29, the S&P 500 is down 24 points. KDK Radio News Time is 12:32. Our next update at 1 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander, the voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Putting on the uniform after being sidelined? What a feeling. You've spent hours icing, stretching, rehabbing, and now AHN Sports Medicine has you back on the field. Your injury is a distant memory, your speed back in full force, and your ball skills have never looked so good. You're back at your best. Maybe better than your best. Go next level at ahn.org/sportsmed.
Hey, pet parents. With Progressive's collision coverage, you get extra protection for your cat or dog, because there's nothing worse than seeing your pet hurt. Like when you see their face after accidentally stepping on their tail, and you say, "I'm so sorry, Mr. Pickles." But as you kiss his nose and rub his little belly welly, you know Mr. Pickles is thinking, "You betrayed me." Anywho, Progressive pays up to $1,000 in vet bills if your pet is injured in an auto accident. Learn more at Progressive.com and watch where you step. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Collision coverage subject to policy terms. Not available in all states.
October is ending, but I want to keep the fall fun going. So I shopped Kohl's lowest prices of the season. I saved 30% on top active brands like Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. Then I got my kids some boots for under $22. Scored 50% off Food Network baking must-haves, and earned Kohl's Cash. Yeah, it doesn't get better than Kohl's. Flex styles. Offers end October 27th. Coupons do not apply to Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. See store or Kohl's at Comfort Detail.
Chances are you're not hearing this ad while topping 100 in your Aston Martin or taking a spin around town in your Rolls Royce. But if you are, then Donald Trump's tax plan is for you. Just ask him.
You're rich as hell. We're going to give you a tax cut?
But if you're hearing this on your way to work or school pickup, if you're heading to the grocery store or wondering how long you can stretch that tank of gas, then your plan is Kamala Harris's plan. She'll make the wealthy and big corporations pay their fair share so she can give the middle class a tax cut, as well as $25,000 for first-time home buyers, $6,000 for first-time parents, and a $50,000 tax deduction for starting a new business. Because that guy in the cyber truck that just zoomed by doesn't need another break. But Kamala Harris knows you sure could use one. Paid for by FFPAC, ffpac.org, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. FFPAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. Come celebrate Levin's huge anniversary sale. Up to 50% off clearance and special buys. Triple sales tax discount and 5 years special financing. No money down. It took 104 years to get here and won't last long. Now at Levin Furniture and Mattress. Look, Robert Levin is one of my friends. He loves taking care of people, and this sale shows that. Check it out. Levin's huge anniversary sale.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Very warm this afternoon. Sunny skies and a high of 78. Clear, low 48 tonight. Then very warm with sun and some clouds. High 82 tomorrow. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Tune in this Sunday morning at 8 for the Coons Cooking Hour with Rob Pratt and the Coons Market Team as they discuss cooking with beer and your favorite beers, local or national. It's the Coons Cooking Hour presented by Coons Market, your hometown Pittsburgh grocer.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
What's up? It's a rhetorical question. Hey, any of your kids go to homecoming dances this weekend? I'm curious about this. Anyone? Your kids go to homecoming dances? Anyone? There's a reason why I'm asking you this. 866-391-1020. 866-391-1020. I'm curious. So, both, Sophia's at Pitt, so obviously she didn't go. But she came to the house to help Chloe with her hair and makeup. Fine. It was really cute. Chloe's a senior at Mount Lebanon. She went to the homecoming dance. No date. It's actually what I've seen, a dramatic change in our culture. And I actually kind of like it. Actually, it's pretty cool. My son Vince, he's 13. He went to the homecoming dance. Okay? Because my wife was out of town at a college reunion, William and Mary, I was ordered, and I mean that in the nicest way, I was ordered to go to Vince's buddy's house to take pictures of the homecoming group of his buddies headed to the homecoming dance. And then Sophia went to the house where Chloe was taking photographs for the homecoming dance for Mount Lebanon. Of the 15 boys at the little house I went to, all very nice people, one boy had a date. One. It just, man, when I was growing up, if you didn't have a date, you didn't go. This is dramatically different. than the way I was raised in the world I was brought up in. Now, date's kind of a weird word because I barely talked to the girl. We barely danced. I was very uncomfortable. I had very little to say. But you had to have a date or you couldn't go. Period. Chloe, who's a senior at Lebo, she didn't have a date. My older sisters, Barb and Maria, never went to a dance without a date. Now, they're Central. I was Central Catholic. They were Sacred Heart. Always had a date. Always. Of all the group of Chloe's friends, I'm serious about this, not one had a date for the homecoming dance. I like this, man. I'll tell you why. It takes the pressure away. It just does. It's easy for them to have a good time. There's no uncomfortable lack of communication. There's no weird, are you my girlfriend, are you my boyfriend stuff. However, they don't have the same skills. Because if they go through high school without dating and just hang out with the guys and hang out with the girls, they don't have the same social skills that I had growing up. Chloe has a boyfriend, but he's a freshman at Carnegie Mellon. And he also graduated from Mount Lebanon. They've been dating a year. Why am I telling you this? Because it's embarrassing, I'm told, if you're out of high school, to come back to high school and go to a dance with your girlfriend. So she went with her friends. The social dynamic of our cultures has changed so dramatically since I was growing up, whether you like this or not. None of these kids have dates for these dances anymore. You still got to buy the same damn suit. You still got to pay for the same damn haircuts, shoes, you name it, but no one has a date. And the whole thing was over at like 11, but everybody was gone from the dance by 9:30. And Vince said he ran around and sang with his friends. And that was that. I don't know. I find it fascinating. Renee, go ahead.
Hi, Marty.
Hi, Renee.
Calling to say my son, just when he's a sophomore, just went to his homecoming dance and refused to take a date. He said most of his friends were just going in friend groups, and that's how he was comfortable going. And I continued to press, well, don't you want to ask this person or that person? Well, I'm a 10th grader. That person's a 9th grader. I can't ask somebody not in my grade.
So true.
Well, how about this person?
So true.
Can't ask an 11th grader. I'm a 10th grader. So there's a lot of rules, and I think a lot of kids are much more comfortable at this point going just with their friends.
Hold on, though. When you were growing up, didn't you always have you didn't go to the dance if you didn't have a date. You stayed home. Felt sorry for yourself.
Correct.
Right?
That's correct. Absolutely. Nobody went single back then. Yeah, I'm turning 60, so it's been a few years. But, yeah, nobody went single.
My cousin's wife, Laura, who I love to death, same thing. Homecoming queen, no date. What the hell happened? I liked it when people had dates. What's your take? Did you like it better?
Did you like it better? For him to go, I was glad he wasn't stressed. I really didn't want him to go with somebody because I thought it would just be a more inclusive feeling, having that whole experience.
Yep.
But I do think, the phones and the social media, and they're so fixated in those phones that their skills at interacting with people have changed. So I think that's a part of it.
Wow, that's a great assessment. Here's the other thing, and Laura just sent me this. I noticed this too. Their dresses, and I don't say a word because my wife is in charge of that stuff. Renee, their dresses are so short That would my sisters would not have been allowed to leave the house ever.
Right. My son goes to a Catholic school, and I was very surprised by the scarcity of material.
Yeah.
It's not what it says. Like, there are rules for how you need to dress, but they're not adhered to at all.
They wear nothing. They wear nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's pretty crazy. The boys are in their tie and all the things that they're told they have to have, but the girls don't have a fingertip length dress. Now, some did. You know, it says you can't be in bodycon dresses. Some
What's
weren't.
that? Hold on. What's a bodycon dress? What is that?
One of those things that looks like a bandage that somebody wrapped around you.
Oh, my gosh. I saw like 20 of those. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and some of the girls did have more modest dresses, but, you know, the style is, you know, this is how they dress, which, you know, my husband doesn't like to hear me say that, but it is true. The girls get upset. Well, everybody else will be in a dress like this, so they feel compelled. But
by the way, you're right again.
My son,
I have physically called my daughter back into the house and said, put some damn clothes on. And I swear my wife says, that's what they all wear, honey. I swear she says that.
Yeah, no, that must be just the traditional trope for the husband and the wife, because I always say, but everybody's doing it. And my husband's like, seriously? Come on. Yeah, I do say that.
All right. It's a great phone call. Hey, Patrick's son, same thing. They all go in groups now. I see upsides to both. I like being scared to death to ask a girl out. I hated being at a table alone with a girl I barely knew, and I really didn't like the uncomfort level. But I also do like the communication skills that you develop when you're actually on a date with someone. I don't know. But this is the world we're in. They all go in groups now. It's fascinating.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding. Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company.
There will come a time when you want to turn off the financial news and turn on a great retirement. Tune into Expedition Retirement with Greg Ayler. Saturday night at 8, Sunday night at 11 on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
I'm here for PJ Fitzpatrick. I've got to tell you, don't go with just any guy to replace your roof. Choose PJ Fitzpatrick. Why choose the B team when you could get the A team from PJ Fitzpatrick? Trust PJ Fitzpatrick to get your roof done right with a lifetime guarantee on materials and labor. PJ Fitzpatrick has thousands of 5-star reviews and over 40 years of experience. Plus, they can install most roofs in one day. Visit trustpj.com today to set up a free design consultation and take advantage of the fall promotions.
Man, I've been through a cancer battle, and UPMC saved my life, and it's just the truth, and I rave about them. In a very, very difficult time historically in healthcare, in a very, very stressful time for patients, doctors, staff, everybody involved, it ain't easy. But my sister is going through pancreatic cancer treatment at UPMC Hillman, and every single day runs into very, very stressful situations, and every single day they handle it in an amazing way at UPMC. They handle it like no one else handles it. UPMC, life-changing, life-saving information, lifetime of helping people. I love it.
It's back. That's right. 0% financing is here. Shop the Shorkey Kia Fall Kickoff. Go green in a new 24 Kia EV6 or EV9. Both available with low 0% financing. Offering great price, value, and warranty is what we do. Your deal, your way. What a great day. PA's #1 volume Kia dealer, ShorkeyKia.com. With approved credit, not all buyers will qualify. May require financing through Kia Motors Finance. Based on December 2023 sales volume in Pennsylvania. See dealer for complete details. Offer expires 10/31/24.
Chances are you're not hearing this ad while topping 100 in your Aston Martin or taking a spin around town in your Rolls Royce. But if you are, then Donald Trump's tax plan is for you. Just ask him.
You're rich as hell. We're going to give you a tax cut?
But if you're hearing this on your way to work or school pickup, if you're heading to the grocery store or wondering how long you can stretch that tank of gas, then your plan is Kamala Harris's plan. She'll make the wealthy and big corporations pay their fair share so she can give the middle class a tax cut, as well as $25,000 for first-time home buyers, $6,000 for first-time parents, and a $50,000 tax deduction for starting a new business. Because that guy in the Cybertruck that just zoomed by doesn't need another break. But Kamala Harris knows you sure could use one. Paid for by FFPAC, ffpac.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. FFPAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Has Alaska been on your bucket list? Are you anxious to experience the wonder and awe of this great state? AAA Travel offers you and everyone considering an Alaska getaway a unique and unforgettable alternative. Join one of their small group adventures for up-close and personal glimpses of the natural beauty and amazing wildlife of our 49th state. With just 8 to 14 guests per guide on each departure, you'll receive personalized one-on-one attention and travel in a comfortable vehicle to places a cruise ship or motor coach cannot go. AAA Travel's intimate Alaska tours provide unique opportunities for adventure and exploration that will enrich your life for years to come. Book and make a deposit by December 31st and save $50 per person, double occupancy. This tour includes accommodations, expert guide, some meals, and much more. Visit AAA or call 1-800-354-8761.
Close friend called me crying. I'm serious. I'm breathless, gasping for air, desperate. Her loved one, her husband, is in a long-term care facility, and they're suing her because she can't afford to pay the bill. That's desperate. You know who stepped in to help? Rob Pierce. Rob Pierce and Associates. I'm serious. 844-505-4774. They're taking care of her. Rob Pierce and Associates. 844-505-4774.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Big changes at the world's biggest entertainment company. Disney naming James Gorman, former CEO of Wall Street's Morgan Stanley Bank, as its new chairman of the board. It also announced it'll appoint a new CEO in early 2026, replacing Bob Iger. Iger was brought back as CEO a few years ago after the ouster of his hand-picked successor, Bob Chapek, after a tumultuously short tenure. The union representing 33,000 striking machinists reaching a tentative agreement with Boeing on a new contract, raising their pay 35% over 4 years. The rank-and-file vote slated for this Wednesday. Shares of Boeing are up almost 3% elsewhere on Wall Street, though. Stocks are taking some pretty big hits today ahead of a big week of earnings. The Dow is down 0.75%. The Nasdaq down a small fraction. The S&P down about 0.5%. And the pest control company Orkin out with its list of the rattiest cities in America, at the top of Chicago, then Los Angeles, then New York. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Hear about it, then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Homecoming. My son didn't have a date. Honestly, he was with like 14 boys. I thought it was actually cute. I went to Central Catholic. We were afraid of girls. We never saw them. I'll tell you a true story, and I told my son this. And if you see Rich Fitzgerald, you can ask him. We got our letter jackets. It was a big deal back then. They don't give you a letter jacket anymore. They just give you a letter. Honestly. We got them in August, football and track, and we all got them the same day. This is a true story. And Central Catholic's gym had no air conditioning. And we had school dances with all the Catholic schools around us, Oakland Catholic, South Hill, North Catholic, all 4 different Catholic girls' schools. Immaculate Reception, blah, 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 Sacred Heart. And they would ship the girls in, I swear. And we all, this is a true story, we were all so afraid of women that we just stood there and stared at them all night. I'm not, this is a school friggin' dance. 2 hours in, this gorgeous Italian girl from Bloomfield comes up to me and says, "Are you going to stare at me the rest of the night, or are you going to ask me to dance?" Well, my shirt was soaked from sweat because A, I was afraid of her, and B, because I was wearing a jacket inside the gym with no AC in the middle of the summer. We danced. And that was that. It's a different game now, man. I see both sides of it. My wife kind of says it takes the edge off. It takes the pressure off. Patrick makes a good point. They were COVID kids. They were out of bounds. They had no contact with anyone for about 2 years. It's a great point. And here we are. And the dresses, ridiculous. My wife was away this weekend, and my daughter's gorgeous and fine. But she had a dress on the size of a postage stamp, and that annoys me. I didn't say one damn word. Why? Because my wife said, honey, that's what all the girls are wearing. There you go. Debbie, go ahead.
Hi, Marty. I am the nana of two beautiful, nice moral girls, sisters, and they went to homecoming, and they both had dates. And from looking at pictures with their friends, they were not the shortest. They were not the longest. And I didn't say anything.
You wanted to.
I asked before, what are these dresses going to look like? I didn't really get an answer. But I figured it out, what we need to call these dresses.
What?
Shrinkflation. They are shrinkflation dresses.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes. You just don't get enough of the dress for the money. They just don't make them.
My daughter had, and the world's changed so much. She had like 14 dresses sent to our house.
Uh-huh.
And then 45 pairs of shoes.
Well, shoes is another thing. They need to have a dress shoe on. I hate when they put on Nikes with a beautiful dress.
Hey, how about her nails? Hey, Dad, these special $90.
Uh-huh.
That's a friggin' car payment.
And the hair.
Oh, yeah. And how about the spray tan? $45.
Well, how much were the flowers, though, for Vince to go? You probably had to pay a pretty penny for those, right?
Well, they bought flowers from Whole Foods, and then they make a bouquet for you. $20. Okay. It's the only decent deal we had the whole time.
Okay. All right.
But let me say this, and ask my wife if you see her. I just play along because I want to yell. But I don't want my kids thinking my dad is a jagoff. I just don't.
Well, what are you going to do? The dress, if they don't give you the material, you would. My girls are tall, so that even takes more of the dress away.
All I know is they didn't make girls like that when I went to Central Catholic. That's all I'm saying, Debbie.
Well, I feel bad for the boys that are going out with these girls in these short dresses on, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those boys are afraid of those girls. I'm glad they are. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Everything she said is true. Every single word is true. Go ahead, Lee.
Hey, Marty, that scene you described of you at the school dance sounded like the Disney movie Heavyweights, where they're in one group of guys is standing, and then the group of girls, and they're looking at each other, and there's an empty dance floor.
Oh, yeah. That was my life, brother.
But you know what? I asked a girl out to senior prom just to have a date, and I didn't even, just to have somebody to go with. So that was, and, we just went as dates, so.
But the dynamic has changed dramatically, man. I want them to be happy. I tell my wife this, all I want is my kids to be happy as we are, and I'll be fine. I will. Folks, it's Marty. Disruptions are coming to Medicare Part D. Any idea what the Inflation Reduction Act means to your prescription coverage? I have no idea. But my friends at MediConnect have the answers for you and your Medicare coverage and your prescription coverage. Call MediConnect. It's free. We've got a skip the line offer. Get the coverage you need fast. Call MediConnect today. 888-818-6334. 888-818-6334.
When it comes to financial planning, most firms focus on your income and balance sheet. At Swart Out Financial, we focus on where you are today and where you want to go. We run a concierge-level financial planning firm where we work with focused and intentional individuals who want the best financial plans for themselves and their family. We look forward to developing an unparalleled financial planning experience for you and your family. Contact Swart Out Financial or visit swartoutfinancial.com today to learn more. The Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
We all think we're doing things right? This is Paul Alexander, picking up the healthy cereal or that natural granola bar. But the truth, most of the time it's packed with junk. Junk they can't even sell outside the U.S., loaded with ingredients we can't pronounce and chemicals that are slowing us down. Yes, this is an Awaken 180 message, but the stats are real. Almost 50% of adults in America now have type 2 diabetes or prediabetes. Back in the 1950s, that number was 1%. And it's not just us adults. 1 in 36 kids has autism now. That's 4 times higher than just 20 years ago. What we're eating is affecting all of us. Navigating it for our families is confusing. add in rising rates of cancers, autoimmune diseases, and even dementia, and it's clear we've been fooled by food. Awaken 180 coaches know the game. They don't treat the symptoms, they eliminate the root cause. Reverse the food curse at awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for moms.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Sunny and 73 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 1 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander. A Pittsburgh woman is charged with arson following a weekend fire on the north side. Sandy Bartha is also charged with criminal mischief, causing and risking a catastrophe, and cruelty to animals. The fire Saturday afternoon happened about 1:30 at Allegheny Commons in the 200 block of East Ohio Street. No injuries were reported, but people in at least 6 apartment units were temporarily displaced. 4 cats and 1 dog were rescued. Bartha has a preliminary hearing scheduled for next Monday. Both the city and the Allegheny County Controller's offices are kicking off separate audits of operations at both the county's 911 center. County Controller Corey O'Connor's audit will focus on working conditions and tech resources at the center, while City Controller Rachel Heisler's will focus on response times. They'll then compare what they find to nationally recognized best practices. Some of the Democratic Party are said to be getting a little bit nervous as we head into the last 2 weeks of the presidential campaign. Political analyst Lenny McAllister says this election could end up like the one in 2016 when the protest vote put Donald Trump over the top.
Donald Trump is really an unpollable candidate and could win like he did in 2016 with a protest vote. If people don't like Kamala Harris enough, they will vote for Donald Trump almost as a thumb in the eye type of vote, which is what happened in 2016.
Today is the last day to register to vote in the November 5th election here in Pennsylvania. Former President Donald Trump campaigned across Pennsylvania Sunday, cooking French fries and working the drive-thru window at a McDonald's drive-thru in Feasterville, Bucks County.
This is fun. I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job. I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again.
On the Big K Morning Show, political analyst Lady McAllister called the McDonald's event cheesy, but a good photo op.
And it does what Donald Trump likes the most, which is, can I drive the news cycle? And again, for an unpollable candidate, if you're driving the news cycle, that might get the hidden voter that's not going to poll, that might slip into a voting booth and vote for Trump and not tell anybody about it until the exit polls.
The large crowd lined up at the street outside the restaurant in Bucks County, a key swing voter area north of Philadelphia. Trump later attended an evening town hall in Lancaster. Tesla founder Elon Musk hosted a town hall last night in McKees Rocks with U.S. Senate candidate Dave McCormick. A major theme was the constitutional right to free speech.
One prominent Democrat after another has been saying that freedom of speech, the First Amendment, is a bad thing. Yeah, John Kerry literally said that. Tim Walz! And Tim Walz. Yeah, and Hillary.
Musk is offering $100 to people who sign an online petition to support the First and Second Amendments. Governor Josh Shapiro says he wonders if that's legal for Musk to do that. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 287 points. The NASDAQ is down 7. The S&P 500 is down 16 points. KDK Sports, there's an NFL doubleheader tonight. Ravens in Tampa to face the Buccaneers. And then at 9 o'clock, the Cardinals will host the L.A. Chargers. News brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick, your roofer with thousands of 5-star reviews. TrustPJ.com. KDK Radio News Time is 1:03. Learn how your Medicare plan may change for next year. Avoid the confusion and contact Dina Schmid at One Health Benefits, 724-799-8873. Sunny and 73 degrees in Pittsburgh. Your AccuWeather forecast is next.
Right now at Wendy's, you can get a small Frosty for $1. And literally everyone is going. The car behind you, going to get a $1 Frosty. The car ahead of you, already had one, going for a second. The person who cut you off earlier, you guessed it, $1 Frosty. Maybe it's all a sign for you to go get one. Just don't cut anyone off. No one likes that person. The iconic Frosty for $1, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Not valid in a combo. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, California, and via third-party delivery.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. Your coworker Kyle said bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive could save you money. Bad news. While saying this, Kyle was eating your clearly labeled lunch. Dumb news. Pizza near work costs $7 a slice, and it tastes like drywall covered in ketchup. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and enjoy more lunches far away from Kyle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Look out. Here comes Wrong Way Rob Matsey. Always flying the wrong way. Matsey sent millions of your tax dollars to Philadelphia. While here in Beaver County, we needed help. In fact, Rob Matsey votes 99% of the time with the woke Philadelphia liberals. And Rob Matsey's not lying straight when it comes to our values. Rob Matsey voted to make it easier to let violent criminals back on the street. Matsey even voted to let biological males on girls' sports teams and in their locker rooms. With Wrong Way Rob Matsey in the cockpit, it's all left wing. Rob Matsey doesn't share our values anymore. A lifetime on the taxpayer dime made him forget where he's from. To Rob Matsey, Beaver County's just flyover country. But there's hope. Michael Parrish shares our values. He'll fight for jobs, lower taxes, and make life affordable again. Michael Parrish, he shares our values. One of us for a change.
Paid for by HRCC, authorized by Michael Parrish.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the relief hotline at 800-525-8448. 800-525-8448. 800-525-8448.
I'm Ken, and I'm a former Trump voter. His disrespect for the military, for the people that serve in the military, and for his incessant lying, his total lack of character, there's no way that I could support him to be president of the United States again. As far as the choice to vote for Kamala Harris, absolute no-brainer. Absolute, total no-brainer. No hesitation from this lifelong Republican whatsoever.
Republican Accountability PAC, Inc., paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. ra-pac.org.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
This afternoon is going to be sunny. We'll get very warm with a high of 78. Clear, low 48 tonight, then warm with sun, some clouds, and a high of 82 tomorrow. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Did you miss this week's Allegheny Health Network Medical Frontiers? Log on to the Allegheny Health Network website to listen to your favorite Medical Frontiers show. Visit ahn.org/Medical Frontiers podcast and look for your favorite Medical Frontiers show.
So why will your kitchen from Petite be different?
You know, Barry, people get the help they need to visualize the kitchen of their dreams.
What kind of help?
Design help, interior design help, and Petite eliminates the nightmare remodeling for a surprisingly great price.
That's right. No more worries about how, when, or what happens if something goes wrong.
Our installation department eliminates the worries and makes sure the project goes smooth as silk.
It really is from custom creation to expert installation. You get the kitchen of your dreams without the worry.
That's it. A quality new kitchen with some features that you won't find anywhere else, and the expertise to make it happen.
Call Petite Kitchen and Bath Design Center today at 412-279-2222.
That's 412-279-2222.
Haven't you waited long enough?
PA 625.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. Call 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100. 800-290-7100.
The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Man, it's a very special day. One of my boys, it's his birthday. Bruce lived an amazing life. He was an unbelievable lawyer. He was an unbelievable father, an unbelievable husband, and an unbelievable friend. And he died from cancer. Today's his birthday. And before he died, he sent me several texts. There were days when I would text with him 40, 50 times. I'm not exaggerating. About his mental condition, about who he was helping, about his physical well-being. That brother was the most positive person I've ever known in my life. He was ravaged by cancer. You know what he cared about? Setting up a fund. I'm not exaggerating this point at all. So that every year on his birthday, he could help someone. And he passed all of this on, including this love and kindness and wisdom, to his amazing wife, Bia. Hi, Bia. How are you?
Hi. How are you, Marty?
So, today's his actual birthday, right?
No, it was yesterday.
Oh, wow.
It was yesterday. Yeah.
And how are you managing this? Are you sad? Are you optimistic? How are you managing this?
Well, it's a combination of both. Effort is sad. He's not here, but also he's inside me, in my heart. So yesterday was very, very nice. We met with friends through Zoom, the ones that are out of town and they're in town. We met with them and shared stories about Bruce, and the kids were there too. So it was very special.
And honestly, one of the most significant things for him before he died was to set up this special fund. And what did he want to do with that fund? What was his goal? It was actually very cool.
Yeah, the goal is to help a person in need, person or family in need. The fund is give away $1,000 every year around his birthday. This year, though, we have a friend of Bruce who doesn't want to disclose his name, double the offer, and now we're offering $2,000 to this person in need. I'm very excited about it. I know there are many people who have needs, so he confided in you, Marty, to really help him to do that. So it's very cool.
And these things are very special. Like, I wanted to read one of the letters. Kind of rips your heart out. My brother was a successful contractor here in Pittsburgh who is now suffering from 2 types of cancer and had to give his business up completely in order to continue to pay for his medical bills. He has been in and out of the hospital with pneumonia 3 times since his treatment for the cancer and just can't seem to get ahead financially because he can't get out of the hospital. This is the kind of person that Bruce would have wanted to help. Is that not true?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yes.
How hard is it for you, though, emotionally, though? I know this is a wonderful gesture, but doesn't it make the pain linger year after year?
You really what do is like this painful, but also you see where he comes from, and then transform your life for the better. So several things are happening at the same time. This is the feeling.
So we're going to call this guy and set this up And the least we can do is at least give him a little financial boost to make his life better, can't we, Bia?
Definitely.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you.
Well, thank you, Marty.
All right.
Thank you so much.
I love her. My man wanted this so bad. He put a big wad of cash in a special account so he can make a difference in a stranger's life after he died. You know, I tell my kids, you're going to learn one thing growing up in this house, to be selfless. You look up Bruce Gelman's picture in the dictionary, and right beside it is the word selfless. All he cared about was everyone else, even when he was dying. And this is evidence of that. It's an amazing story. He's an amazing, amazing, amazing man. And at the end of the day, why? And Bruce said, Marty, take care of these folks. Take care of these strangers. My man had a massive court case. What he did was he's a lawyer. And that's how he met. He did a significant number of Get Marty stories with me where folks would have issues battling an insurance company. And he would step up and represent them for free. And so we're going to hook up this wonderful man who's battling cancer, who's been in and out of the hospital, and give him this check for $2,000.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
How much is safety and peace of mind worth to you? Severe weather can happen suddenly, and the AccuWeather app gives you more accurate. Premium Plus subscription on the AccuWeather app costs less than a cup of coffee each month. And with it, you get the fastest and most accurate alerts to keep you and your loved ones safer. Clear, concise, and actionable forecasts with superior accuracy. Download the AccuWeather app and choose a Premium Plus subscription today.
If you're experiencing low energy, brain fog, or bloating, then your body might need a detox. Active Liver from New Nordic makes it easy to help your liver to detox your body all year long without major changes to your diet or lifestyle.
Have you ever thought about joining a credit union? There are plenty of great benefits and perks. Hi, it's Dan Zangrilli. Some think that you have to be part of a club or know someone to get in. Not the case. At Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union, you simply need to live, work, or worship in Allegheny, Butler, or Beaver counties, and you're eligible to join for just $5. Unlock the great rewards of a credit union. Shape your future with Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by the NCUA. Visit AllegiantFCU.org to get started today.
Get in for the fall savings at Coons Market.
85% lean fresh ground beef, $4.99 a pound. Green Giant fresh cut vegetables, 12-ounce bags, 2 for $5. And original quality Isley's chipped ham, $3.49 a pound. Come see us at Coons.
Celebrate the spooky season with Zero Res and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129 and take $75 off your air duct cleaning. Book online at ZeroResPGH.com and take advantage of these huge savings. Spell it backwards or forward. It spells the same. Zero Res!
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Got Mark Cuban coming up next. It's actually fascinating how the billionaires have stepped into this. I've been at this more than 30 years, and I've never seen this in my career. Honestly. Like, usually they write the checks, but they're behind the scenes. I find it entertaining as hell. I was telling my wife, and I've known Mark for, I don't know, 30 plus years. I was on television in Dallas for 10 years. I had a talk show in Dallas. I probably interviewed him 100 times, at least. I think I would argue that this is full time for him. I've never seen him do this ever. Now I was thinking, he sold the Mavericks. He still has a voice, but he sold them for, was it $3 or $4 billion? So he probably has more time. Although he doesn't have a lot of time, he has this insanely cool online pharmacy. And he's gone at this. I was telling Patrick, I swear he's on every single news outlet. He's all over social media. He does every single influencer. I admire it, man. He's got a big family. He's got a wife. I mean, he's busy. I think it's cool. Same with Elon Musk. He's obsessed. He's obsessed. Now, do they have a motive? Of course they do. But who doesn't? Musk flat out said, whatever money you need, I got it. I got you. And records show he spent well over $100 million. Now he's got something worked up where he's giving away $1 million a day, and then he was paying some folks $100 if they came to certain rallies. A guy sent me pictures last night from him at the what's it called? The Roxian? It's in the Rocks. Really, really nice theater. Really small. I respect the hell out of it. Yeah, I have pictures of him sitting in a chair looking at his cell phone at the theater. I have pictures of him on the stage. He live streamed it. And at the end of the day, at least they're involved. But I haven't seen this kind of engagement with billionaires before. And they're both very competitive. But by the way, Mark Cuban is rich. But Elon Musk is sick rich. And just for perspective, Cuban has a net worth, and it depends on who you talk to, of like $6 billion, which is a lot of money. He could buy a lot of countries. But let me make sure I'm right on this. Elon Musk net worth. And obviously it depends on the marketplace and the value of his various, wow, $250 billion. Wow. $250 billion. And what's Cuban's? Mark Cuban. I like Cuban because I know him. I don't know Musk. $5.7 billion. Ha! It's sick money. But they've both kind of obsessed on this. So they've made it their full-time jobs. Good for them. I got no problem with any of it. I think it's great. Now, you can dissect their versions of the truth. Folks have suggested that Cuban and Musk extrapolate certain facts to tell the story. We could argue the semantics of the nature of the communication process and the story they're telling all day long. Some folks would argue that Musk bought X with $44 billion of his own money so he could use it as a platform to help get Trump elected. I don't doubt it. I've also read some information out there that Musk has the site set up so that it filters a certain amount of information about Trump that was negative. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt any of it. It's his site. It's his toy. What I have noticed about X is it's been ruined by politics. And all it is, and by the way, I like the platform. We stream on it. We have thousands of people that now watch the show on it, and that's fine. But there is so much information out there that's lies on X. It's unbelievable. There's so much bad video that's lies on X. It's unbelievable. And what happens now is folks seek out the information that validates their insanity. You want information on the moon being made of cheese? You'll find it on X. So what it does is it ends up distorting the truth and distorting your belief. And some of it's dangerous, quite frankly. Some of it creates threats to assassination attempts on Trump's life. There are so many outrageously angry people on X. It's so amazing has this thing evolved. When we started doing streaming and I started doing social media, the only thing anyone cared about was Facebook. Not anymore. But let me say this. There are still billions of people on Facebook. Billions call instant gratification. Instant. Instant news. Instant videos. I just saw a video on X of that woman running across the football field at the Steeler game. The large-breasted woman who was carrying the Trump sign. What's happened in our world now is the stuff that gets traction on X is inflammatory, sensational. And folks posting it know the only way to get it out there is to make it inflammatory or sensational. And that creates a very, very, very volatile environment. And no one wants to take the time to seek out the truth. I could put out there 4 + 2 = 6, and Trump could tell you tonight 4 + 2 = 7, and you would call me a liar and say Trump was right. I've seen it, and I live it, and I watch it on X every single day. And it scares me because anything out there in what you call the mainstream media, in other words, you don't like that information, even fact-checking stories, you say are lies. Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Post-Gazette did a fact-checking story on Trump this weekend. They called BS on several of his points. And all of you said that the facts are wrong and all of those media sources and outlets are lies. So now what we do is we focus on, and Patrick's showing the video on our stream right now, of this woman with massive breasts, and it's relative because she reminds me of Morgana, quite frankly, running across the field live at the Steeler game last night. And it has millions and millions of views. I am not kidding. If I posted the truth in a factual, historical reference on the same site, 1,000 people would check it out. It's just where we're at. Mark Cuban is next, folks. Don't miss this.
Hello, this is Sarah Botkin of Botkin Family Wealth Management. My father, Les Botkin, started his career as a financial advisor back in 1997. I decided to join him after that dreadful morning on September 11th when I was working in the World Trade Center. Coming home to Pittsburgh and to my family was important to me, and I've worked with Dad ever since. My brother Lester joined Dad and me several years ago after serving our country in Iraq. As an independent financial planning and investment firm, we broke away from one of the largest brokerages on Wall Street. Our plans are customized and free from bias and shareholder needs. We've been successful because our clients are successful. We'd love to help you be successful too. Visit BotkinFamilyWealth.com to learn more about our dedication. We look forward to meeting you.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Private Advisor Group, a registered investment advisor. PAG and Botkin Family Wealth are separate entities from LPL Financial.
I went to high school with Bob Tootie from Tootie Mechanical. So I've known him, 40 plus years? His business is insane. Tootie Mechanical. The service is unbelievable. The professionalism is unbelievable. And the help, man, they've put 400 free furnaces in homes. Tootie Mechanical is the best for HVAC I've ever seen in my career. They're amazing people, amazing service. Tootie, 412-771-4100. Call them.
If you're experiencing low energy, brain fog, or bloating, then your body might need a detox. Active Liver from New Nordic makes it easy to help your liver to detox your body all year long without major changes to your diet or lifestyle.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Sunny and 74 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 1:30. I'm Paul Alexander. The bipartisan panel headed by Butler Congressman Mike Kelly is out with an interim report on the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. Fragmented lines of communication, unclear chains of command. These are among the things the Congressional Task Force cited in its investigation into the July 13th shooting. The bipartisan panel says there were several pivotal points when law enforcement officials, whether federal, state, or local, could have engaged gunman Thomas Crooks, especially as his behavior that day became increasingly suspicious. Yet the poor lines of communication allowed him to evade law enforcement. The panel also questions why the Secret Service didn't do a better job securing the American Glass Research Building from where Crooks fired the shots. With 2 weeks to go in the presidential campaign, the candidates are prepping for their closing arguments. News Radio KDK's Paul Rasmussen has more.
What does each side have to do to close the deal? Political analyst Lenny McAllister says Donald Trump's message should be,
if you want that level of prosperity again, you want that level of stability internationally, and you want an economy that you can be able to buy groceries and not have to put it on your credit card again, you vote for me.
And for Kamala Harris, McAllister suggests,
you say, look at the chaos that you had with the Trump administration for 4 years. Look at the way he handled his wartime crisis, which was the pandemic. I spent 4 years cleaning it up with Joe Biden. Now it's time for me to take another 4 years.
Election day is November 5th. Paul Rasmussen, News Radio KDKA.
A Carnegie Mellon police officer was injured in a motorcycle accident in Trump's motorcade to Acrisure Stadium. It happened around 8:45 on Carson Street near the West End Circle. The officer was thrown from the motorcycle when it hit a curb. He was taken to the hospital in stable condition. Tesla founder Elon Musk hosted a town hall last night in McKees Rocks with U.S. Senator candidate Dave McCormick. A major theme was the constitutional right to free speech.
One prominent Democrat after another has been saying that freedom of speech, the First Amendment, is a bad thing. Yeah, John Kerry literally said that. Tim Walz! And Tim Walz. Yeah, and Hillary.
Musk is offering $100 to people who sign an online petition in support of the First and Second Amendments. Governor Josh Shapiro says he wonders if that's legal for Musk to do that. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 309 points. The Nasdaq is up a fraction. The S&P 500 is down 17 points. KDK Radio News Time, 1:32. Our next update at 2 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander, the voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Well, my friends at Coit, they got the coolest deal happening right now. This is an amazing fall clean sale. Check this out. Save 35% off all Coit services, carpets, rugs, drapes, much more. I had them in my house. Matt and Bill were amazing. They've been with Coit more than 20 years. Did insane work on our house. No one cleans homes better than Coit. Right now, call 35% off all Coit services. 35% off. 1-800-FOR-COIT. 1-800-FOR-COIT. Coit, Pittsburgh's premier cleaning.
Hey everyone, Bob Pompiani here from MetaConnect. You know, I have a couple of years before I turn 65, but it's important to have a solid game plan in place. There are over 70 different Medicare plans offered in this region. To discuss which plan is right for you, call the top-rated experts at MetaConnect. It's a free service. Picking the right Medicare plan is something you don't want to fumble. 888-818-6334 or check out their website at MetaConnectInsurance.com and tell them Bob Pompiani sent you.
Tell you what, I'm serious about this. Some of the best Italian food I've ever had in my life. And I mean, I'm an old guy. This restaurant in Oakmont, Michael A's, whoo! Slamming. Folks, slamming. 9.9 on a scale of 10. Seriously, Michael A's, Oakmont. Homemade, handcrafted Italian. I'm telling you, it'll be the best you've ever eaten. Michael A's, Oakmont. Hey, folks, it's Marty. Come celebrate Levin's huge anniversary sale. Up to 50% off clearance and special buys. Triple sales tax discount. And 5 years special financing. No money down. It took 104 years to get here and won't last long. Now, at Levin Furniture and mattress. Look, Robert Levin is one of my friends. He loves taking care of people, and this sale shows that. Check it out, Levin's huge anniversary sale.
In today's world, energy security means more than just keeping the lights on. It's about making America stronger by reducing our dependence on foreign oil. Ethanol helps fuel our nation's energy security. Made right here in America, ethanol keeps gas prices lower. It's renewable, reliable, and helps create American jobs. On Election Day, join us in choosing candidates who support ethanol and the renewable fuel standard. Paid for by the Renewable Fuels Association.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711. Sunny this afternoon. It'll be very warm with a high of 78, then clear, low 48 tonight. Sunny to partly cloudy and very warm, high 82 for tomorrow. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Tune in to KDKA Radio every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. for On the Money with Secure Money Advisors. Brian Caranta has tips that will make sure your retirement and income plan is ready to help provide you with a comfortable, secure retirement.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
So you have to tell Kamala Harris that you've had enough, that you just can't take it anymore. We can't stand you. You're a vice president. The worst. You're the worst vice president. Kamala, you're fired. Get the hell out of here. You're fired.
Mark Cuban. Good afternoon, Mark. How are you?
Good, Marty. Good to be back.
Mark, that kind of commentary, eats at me, man. It irritates the hell out of me, and it has to trouble you, too.
Yeah, I mean, that's just who he is. He's just not a good person. You know, you don't hear Kamala talking like that. You don't hear most people talking like that. But when you don't have something legitimate to say, you go low, and that's what he does. That's who he is.
You know what, though, Mark? I find it fascinating because I agree with you. I've never seen anything like it. Trump said something about 4 or 5 years ago that he could shoot someone in Times Square and they'd still vote for him. He made these lewd, crude comments about Arnold Palmer's private parts over the weekend.
Yeah, of course.
And folks love this stuff. What the hell's going on with people, Mark? Why do they buy into this?
I have no idea. I mean, look, it is what it is. People like it for whatever reason. Some people, you know, they don't put quality of policy, quality of human being, character. There's an old saying from back when that says character is destiny. Who you show yourself to be, that's who you'll be when times are tough. And we've seen that with Donald Trump. January 6th, people were literally yelling, hang Mike Pence. Anybody from Pittsburgh, anybody who had somebody who works for them, any employer, if someone was saying hang one of your employees, particularly somebody you're second in command that you're supposedly close to, you would be standing up for them immediately. If he can't stand up for this vice president, do you think he's going to stand up for the people of the United States? No.
Yeah. You know what they say, Mark? And I know you hear it because you hear it every damn day. You know what, though? Marty, I don't care what he says. I go to dinner with people I don't like. But the economy was great under Trump, and she's ruined the economy. How do you respond to that?
No, that's wrong. Right. First of all, she has about as much control as Mike Pence did before her. You know, the vice president is not in charge. You know, we've all had bosses. You do what your boss says, you know, and you don't throw them under the bus. And so it wasn't her economy. It's Joe Biden's economy and Bidenomics. And look, there's a lot of things that are good. There's the markets at all-time highs, right? Unemployment rates at all-time lows. You know, real wages are growing quickly. GDP is growing at record rates. There's all these positives. But people, you know, what we need to do is get to the details. Kamala Harris is better for small business. Kamala Harris is better for 99% of the population. Here's the reality. Kamala Harris says anybody making $400,000 or less, their tax rate is either going to stay the same or go down. Have you heard Donald Trump say anything at all about people in that tax bracket? No. He's talking about, you know, there's only 20,000 companies that have, 500 or more employees. And he's talking about reducing their taxes. He's not talking about reducing your taxes. He's talking about tariffs. You know what happens with tariffs? I'll tell you. First of all, when there's a tariff on China, China makes a lot of the products we buy. The sporting goods stuff you want to get your kids for Christmas, the clothes you want to get your kids, cooking gear, all the stuff, the presents you want to buy, a lot of that, if not most of it, comes from China. He wants to slap a 60% tariff on that stuff. You know what happens then? Your price goes up 60%, if not more, because it costs more cash to buy. And so when your cost of those things goes up 60%, you're able to buy fewer Christmas presents. When you're able to buy fewer Christmas presents, that retailer down on Forbes Avenue, that retailer down on Beverly, those people aren't selling as much. And we're not selling as much. Those are small businesses that go out of business. Donald Trump is the Grinch that wants to steal your Christmas. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about small business. Everything he does is for the big cronies, the people with a lot of money. He can save me some money, but he's not going to help you.
Hey, Mark. Have you ever had a good business opportunity presented by Trump or with Trump, sir, ever in your life?
Yeah, I mean, good. It started off okay. Look, let me just say this. I've known Donald for 25 years.
Right.
And we did some stuff together, not cash business, but we worked together, did some promotions. That is not the Donald Trump that I did business with and worked with. We did this MMA promotion in 2009. It's not the same Donald Trump as today. He was completely different back then. He was sharper. He was quicker. He understood topics more. When you talk to him about business or trade back in 2009, 2010, and even 2015, he was a lot sharper than he is today. He hasn't lost one step. He's lost the whole football field worth of steps. And that's just reality. Look, I'm 66 years old. Father Time is undefeated. I miss a word here and there. There's nobody at 78 that doesn't lose things. He tried to say liquid gold yesterday, couldn't spit it out. He's getting his dates. He thought the election day was January 5th. When he starts talking, S this and, Arnold Palmer that, that's because he can't think of anything to say. He's just searching for things to say. Do you hear him quacking like a duck? Frack, 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 frack. I mean, it's just insane. Could you imagine him being, in front of the American people or being in a diplomatic meeting with the foreign leader going quack, quack, frack, 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 frack? Nobody does that. We don't need our leaders to be out of control and insane like that. Now, it's easy to talk bad about Donald Trump. Kamala Harris is the exact opposite. She's open-minded. She's pragmatic. She's analytic. She says she wants to have Republicans in her cabinet. She says, I'm an independent. I'm not a Democrat. She wants to hear from me. She wants to hear from other independents. She's a problem solver, and that's what she said. And look, being open-minded and not being an ideologue has led her to change her mind on things. She's smart. She's changed her mind on fracking, as she should. It took a couple of years, but that was 4 years ago she's changed her mind. She's not Joe Biden. Her tax rates are far lower than Joe Biden, and she's not adding tariffs to everything like Donald Trump. I mean, it is just insane that he can't understand. This man, when you used to hear him talk about international trade back in the early 2000s, he knew what he was talking about.
Hey, Mark.
Now he doesn't know what a tariff is.
Hey, Mark, she's been describing him as unstable and unhinged. Do you agree, sir?
So when we were growing up, Marty, when I was going to Samuel S. Nixon Elementary School and John Dewey and then Mount Lebanon, we looked up to the president. Our parents told us someday you can be president if you work hard and you get good grades. We want you to be, like John F. Kennedy, like George Bush, whoever it may be. Nobody's saying we want you to be like Donald Trump. Nobody. Is there anybody out there who wants their child to be like that? And then people pretend he's a good business person. I've never gone bankrupt 6 times, but it's not even the bankruptcies that are bad, right? What's really, really bad is any company I've ever started, any company I've ever run, if it didn't do well, and I've had some that have closed, I made sure that I paid off all the bills, so I owe nobody anything. There's story after story about, people he stiffed, Trump University, Trump Soho, vendors and contractors that he wouldn't pay or he underpaid. And he was proud he was underpaid. Just the other day when he had his mic go off, remember there was a thing where he had his mic go off and he says, I'm not going to pay him. He didn't say, well, let's figure out what's happening. He just immediately said, I'm not going to pay him. That's how he treats hardworking Americans. There's an audio person. You and I have dealt with a lot of audio people in our lives. There's an audio person there that's whole life is on the line, and he just threw that person under the bus. He just threw that contracting company under the bus. You can't You don't want a president who does that. You don't want a president who wakes up with a tweet saying he's going to put a tariff. You want somebody like Kamala Harris, and that's why I'm voting for her. Look, better for small business. 99.5% of businesses are small. 99% of those are subchapter S or LLCs or solo companies where it's all passed through. 400,000 or less, your taxes are staying the same or going down. Healthcare. You haven't heard him say a word about healthcare except he's got a concept. Kamala Harris has said specifically she's going to take out the middlemen from pharmacy. And look, I know this business better than anybody with costplusdrugs.com. And so by taking out that pharmacy middleman, your cost of medications can go down 20, 30%. That more than offsets any gains from inflation that we've had. And for small businesses, we know the terror of when our employees get sick and they have high deductibles or we can't afford health care for our employees. It's scary. Kamala Harris is working on that. I've sat there and talked to her about it. She's talked about eliminating or minimizing the middleman. Donald Trump hasn't said a word. And I'll tell you another thing, and this applies to Pittsburgh as well as anywhere else. We know that, Biden didn't do a great job on the border. And they've gotten to the point now where they've kind of fixed the incoming, where the border crossings are lower than they were under Trump with the changes they made with the executive order that they've extended. But now we have to deal with the non-citizens, the illegals that are here now. Both have said they'll deport anybody who is a criminal. That makes perfect sense. But what they haven't said is what you're going to do with everybody else that's here illegally. Kamala Harris says we're going to have a valid process that everybody understands. There will be rules and regulations that everybody can follow and either stay or leave, and we'll do it humanely. Donald Trump has his buddy Stephen Miller, who says mass deportations. Remember Elian Gonzalez?
Of course. That's
what we're going to see. There's going to be a restaurant down on 6th Avenue, because that's where I used to work way back when. I think it's still there. And, someone's going to knock on the door and say, hey, manager, can I see the names, phone numbers, social security numbers, and immigration status for everybody that works for you, and anybody that doesn't, that we don't like, out the door you go. No process. You're gone. You're deported. Here's the bus. See you later. That would destroy communities. Now, I'm not saying, if someone's here illegally, you make them go back through the front door, you make them follow the process. But the president of the United States has to be very specific about what that process is. You can't just break up families. You just can't tear people away because, look, if someone in my family or someone we married into the family was a non-citizen and they started just dragging them out, I'm not just going to say that's okay. And I think that can lead to a lot of instability. And that's what we'll get with Donald Trump.
Mark, your final message to Pittsburghers.
Go Steelers. Yeah, Russell Wilson. Let me tell you, Russell's my boy. I'll tell you one little quick story, right? There was a guy named Valdi's his name. Yep. And he used to work for the Mavericks as a physical trainer. And I just talked to him yesterday. He's been the physical trainer working with Russ, for the last couple months. And look what happened. Got off to a slow start. And look, it's so analogous to politics. What was the crowd doing at the beginning of the game for us yesterday?
Booing.
Because we want that immediate gratification. We think it has to happen all now, right? Those first couple of possessions, that's Donald Trump. Those last two quarters, that's Kamala Harris.
Nice.
That's the difference. Go Steelers.
Mark Cuban, my man. Thanks, brother.
Anytime, Marty. Appreciate you.
All right, man.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows, and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
Halloween sales happening now at Spitzer Toyota Monroeville. But don't worry, there's absolutely no tricks. Panda only dishes out treats at Spitzer Toyota of Monroeville, like monster savings on new Toyotas with the Panda price and a sweet lifetime powertrain warranty at no charge. So don't miss the Halloween sale. Hurry in and shop one of the largest new Tacoma and Tundra selections in Western PA. Only at Spitzer Toyota Monroeville.
Whack more. Spend less at Spitzer Toyota Monroeville.
See dealer for details.
As a mom of 3, I'm responsible for big decisions impacting my family. Last year, we needed to replace a few appliances. Imagine my surprise when I learned that some places are banning gas stoves. Now, new government auto mandates mean we could pay thousands more for our next vehicle. We need more energy and more choices, not fewer. Learn more at energycitizens.org.
Paid for by the American Petroleum Institute.
This is a commercial for California Psychics, America's most trusted psychic network. So, if you're waiting for a sign, this is it. No, really, this is it. You won't see your soulmate's face in the clouds or your career path mapped out in your cappuccino foam. This really is it. We could add some dramatic sound effects if you'd like. So what you waiting for? Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
There is treatment for your neuropathy pain. I'm Dr. Dawn Spalla, owner of Allegheny Health and Physical Medicine. If you suffer from numbness and tingling in your hands and feet, throbbing pain, or you can't sleep at night, Allegheny Health and Physical Medicine treats neuropathy symptoms daily without drugs and surgery. Call 724-224-2224 to schedule your free consultation at our Sarver or Brackenridge offices. Just call Allegheny Health and Physical Medicine at 724-224-2224 for relief.
While you sleep, there are people you've never met who are working hard to make your morning. People who get up at ungodly hours to make sure you get the information you want while you sleep. People who dedicate their lives to make yours better while you sleep. These people come together during the Big K Morning Show with Larry Richard, 5:30 to 10 in the morning, to make sure you have the best news, traffic, and weather to start your day. Wake up to your friends, weekday mornings on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The popularity of cremation is on the rise. Unfortunately, so is the cost. To keep the costs down, the Thomas M. Smith Funeral Home and Crematory Limited in Blawnox has an on-site crematory. By performing the cremation on-site without losing custody of the remains, the Thomas M. Smith Funeral Home and Crematory Limited can defray those costs and pass the savings on to you. This low-cost, direct cremation offer is available to all residents of Allegheny County. Surrounding counties will incur a slight additional fee based on mileage. Contact them with questions or schedule an appointment by calling 412-828-5700. That's the Thomas M. Smith Funeral Home and Crematory Limited in Blawnox. Daniel T. D'Alessandro, Supervisor. Their website, thomasmsmithfh.com.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. So many of you have told me about your plans for the future. Starting a business, buying a home, retiring near your grandchildren. But prices are too high. So let me tell you what I will do about it as president. I will take on price gouging. I will lower the cost of health care insurance. We cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors. I'm running to do that for everyone. And I will provide new down payment assistance to first-time home buyers and tax benefits to people who want to start their own business. Donald Trump, well, he wants to give more tax breaks to the wealthy, whereas I will cut taxes for the middle class instead. Because I know working people want to do more than just get by. You want to get ahead, and that's the future you deserve. And that is what I will focus on every day as your president. Paid for by Harris for President.
UPMC, life-saving, life-changing information. Amazing.
And now for a business news update from the Pittsburgh Business Times. I'm Managing Editor Mike Larson. Pittsburgh International Airport could break 10 million passengers by the end of 2024. There were 7.5 million passengers through Pittsburgh International Airport through the end of September, according to data released Friday during the Allegheny County Airport Authority's monthly meeting. Airport Authority CEO Christina Casotis said it was possible that a notable round number could happen in 2024. The last time Pittsburgh International had 10 million passengers was in 2005. Also, the University of Pittsburgh has hired a new athletic director. On Friday, the university announced it had hired Alan Green, the senior deputy athletic director at the University of Tennessee, to take over the athletic department. According to a release from the school, Green will start in his new role on November 1st. Pitt parted ways with its former athletic director, Heather Lyke, last month. For more on these stories and other local business news, log on to PittsburghBusinessTimes.com. I'm Mike Larson.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I know I love your views on politics, and I love your show, but I got to get your take on. Were we all wrong? Is Tomlin the king again now?
It's for a week. It's okay to be wrong.
Yeah. Were you a little surprised?
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Russell Wilson was good. George Pickens was good.
Amazing.
They made great music together.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other part. Don't forget he got booed over the first 12 minutes of the football game.
He looked very uncomfortable, right?
Till he got his groove, and then he has to lose 2 in a row to even think about going back to Fields, and he has to play terribly. And I don't think he's going to. I'll tell you what has really been a gigantic thing is the grace and the dignity with which he's carried himself.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson.
He's an adult.
100%. And that's before he played even.
Yeah.
From the time he got to town, he's done everything PR-wise right.
Same with Fields.
They're totally...
When that young brother said, I didn't play well enough, that was cool.
Right.
Yeah, I was amazed.
How about your guy Friday, George Pickens letting the cat out of the bag and telling everybody he was going to be quarterback?
Hysterical.
I'll tell you what. Even if you weren't there, if you're just watching on TV, the pulse and the feel and the thump of the place felt different yesterday. It just did.
And by the way, Trump wasn't a distraction. It really wasn't. He came late. They showed him one time.
Yeah, he went in.
I didn't think it was a big deal.
Went out, and that was it.
That Morgana woman now, that was a little different.
Yeah, I've got to find out who she is. That's one of my goals today during the show. There has to be an Instagram or OnlyFans ulterior motive for this young lady.
Yeah. Some kind of, right?
I just got to say, like, this isn't Los Angeles.
Right.
This isn't Dallas, New York. There's not women who look like that walking around Pittsburgh.
Completely agree.
They're just not.
Like she could be one of those traveling dancers, exotic dancers.
Something is up.
Yeah.
They're just not. There's not. That lady's not just walking around Pittsburgh.
Oh no, she was running. She wasn't walking.
No, I have a field level photo.
She had a Trump sign. She had a Trump sign. It was Trump closed borders, Harris open borders.
Oh.
Something is up though.
Yeah,
I got a close photo of her.
Oh,
that someone took when the police were taking her out, and it's. I mean, it's if a Barbie doll was brought to scale, it would be that.
Oh,
I
wow.
believe. Yes.
Colin Dunlap is next.
Every Tuesday morning at 7:20, listen for Inside Independence Health, a look at all things healthcare with the experts from Independence Health System. It's brought to you by Independence Health System. Expert care here.